So
Minions have
we're gonna have to
spawned.
see whether Braum manages to do that and pull out a counter move to the Nami
Stars
ultimate.
ain't on your side.
Yeah, we see a bit of an invade actually happening right now. Lorem Ipsum gonna be walking into the jungle of Ardent right now. They are spotted out by the Camille, who interestingly is in the bot lane. She's gonna place down a ward. It's gonna be taken away, but Lorem Ipsum have been found. Are they gonna do anything about it? That's the question. Ardent, oh no, the Renekton walking straight up there. That might just be first blood. Uses counter to try to keep himself alive, but the flashing forward there. Oh, Rengar flashing really deep. Kai'Sa picking up the first blood, but Rengar staying alive. Galio has arrived as well, but Ardent were caught off guard by that, despite the fact that they had this information, and Lorem Ipsum pick up first blood.
Oh, Rinoa, I'm not sure why she walked back in there. It was full information on the side of ART. It was already really sneaky of Camille to be able to do that. But right now, it's like just gonna settle down for a little bit. And everyone's just gonna try and reset. But you see here, Rinoa already packing a punch, but taking up that tower shot.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake there. They're just gonna grab that honey fruit and kind of reset the lane. But a lot of early aggression, as you said, from the side of Lorem Ipsum there with that invade, catching out the Renekton there. Really off guard. I think maybe Rinoa walked down to try to scout out what was happening, but really paid the price for it with her life.
There was really no need to. I mean, they could have just gone to the other side of the jungle or try and put down some wards on the cross map to see where Lorem Ipsum's jungle will start. But nonetheless, still a lot of trading going on. Maybe we're just gonna rack it up to nerves, right? Maybe it's the first game of the day. Teams are still settling in, so a little bit of micro mistakes we see here and there.
Ooh. Fiora actually not making the early recall there. Camille did walk up and spend some time in the top lane. Wasn't really spotted out by any wards, so no one really knew that she spent some time there. But looking at both junglers right now, they are in the top side of the jungle. Rengar gonna be finishing up their red buff and nearly hitting level 5. You need to keep an eye out for those ultimate enhanced ganks, which will be starting to happen pretty soon.
I think Galio's in a pretty good position. If you look at the items here, Rod of Ages is on the way already and he's just hit level 5. So we expect some cross-map plays maybe to start happening. Of course, TF is picked there just to match him. So it's about who's really going to step on the pedal first and get those snowballs going.
Yeah, for now it looks like Twisted Fate is the one who's able to clear out the waves faster than the Galio. So he would likely be able to make the first move. The question though is, where do you teleport? Do you teleport into the bot lane and risk getting bubbled and tidal wave? Or do you teleport to the top lane where Renekton can easily slice and dice away from you?
Yeah, that's it. It really is on the side of Lorem Ipsum to step on the pedal. It is their turn to turn up the tempo, because if you look at their team composition, oops, card's just going a little bit wide there. You look at the team composition, it's really single target heavy. I mean, the moment that you have a TF in your mix, you gotta look at the burst damage that's gonna come out from his gold card, as well as pairing that with Rengar, right? The burst damage from these two in a 2v2 is pretty high. And in a team fight, they are the ones who will be peeling back from this Camille Galio combo. So looks like Dragon is coming up and they have the better position here. So you're just gonna trade it across the map, Herald for that first Infernal Dragon.
Yeah, they're gonna do a little bit of trading right now. Twisted Fate using the ultimate as well, and just to, I guess, kind of scare his opponents. Very risky stuff there. Minaka taking about half of her health in damage. Ardent are gonna be the ones picking up that Rift Herald and forcing the Corki to use his package as well.
A little bit unnecessary to hook your hit there. Looks like both teams tend to do that a lot.
Ooh, Rengar landed that root right now. The dive has begun, but Rengar being the first one to fall. Maybe they have overcommitted on this one. Never mind. Forget that. Kai'Sa dashing into Twisted Fate as well. That's going to be Lorem picking up 2 kills for 1. But meanwhile, in the top lane there, Camille and Renekton have managed to pick up the first turret.
That was a great play by Lorem Ipsum.
Oh,
this is exactly what we
there's
just talked about.
collapse happening right now. Camille just jumping straight in onto the Kai'Sa, gonna delete her health bar, and the rest of Lorem Ipsum are in shambles. Maybe Ardent have dived a bit too far forward there. Lois is gonna tank out one more auto attack and does go down to the Twisted Fate.
Well, just as I praised them, they kind of overstayed in mid. They were quite desperate for that mid tower. But they recognize, right? The thing about Lorem Ipsum is that they recognize that Ardent had quite a few members on the top side of the map, which is why they saw that they could have dived the mid lane. Almost got the tower, but it was still not too bad. They're still in a gold lead, about 1,000 gold. And they also have that dragon stacking going for them. So I think right now both teams just gotta reset that. Of course, Lorem still eyeing that mid lane tower. We see the pings going down. It's really gonna be up to TF to clear out these waves, but Ardent committing 3 members here in a 1v1.
Yeah, they're gonna be looking to keep this mid lane pushed in with this Nami and Corki duo. Of course, we're going to talk about the goal. Even though the leads are small right now for Lorem Ipsum, they are on the correct people. You can see that Kai'Sa has about 1,000 gold up on the Corki. That's a very welcome sign, but what's not a welcome sign is this poor Galio right here, who's just gonna be taken out by that 4-man goon squad. Lorem Ipsum are gonna be able to secure this bot lane turret.
Yeah, a little bit strange map, a lane assignment, I would say. Galio could have just stayed mid and wave cleared against TF, but
there's a collapse
Ardent,
happening right now. Ardent, they pick up the turret, but at what cost? Renekton getting dived upon, is gonna get stunned up and caught out in the middle of the enemy team. Gonna be the first one to fall. How much more can Lorem Ipsum find? Another stun card lands onto the Corki. That's gonna be Galio coming in right there from the base to take out the Fiora, and at this moment Lorem Ipsum have to retreat.
So that's really what we want to see more from Ardent. We saw that Camille Galio combo. I almost said Camille again because that's what we called it last time. But yeah, we want to see more of that. And the way that they assigned the lanes just now was not very good. Like they put Galio at bot lane, which is why Lorem Ipsum was like, hey, why is your Galio in bot? Like there's no way he can rotate there. Nothing's happening. You kind of need him in the middle of the map so that he can have an impact elsewhere. But that's it, that's really what we want to see more from Ardent because right now it feels like they're not controlling the game, right? The tempo seems to be in Lorem Ipsum's favor. They seem to be responding on the side of Ardent more than making any proactive moves with this wombo combo team combo.
Yeah, I always see that Lorem are the ones who tend to make that first collapse, and they are getting the benefits of that right now. Twisted Fate with 2 items already, also building a gold lead over her lane opponent. Does have that Rod of Ages as well as that Lich Bane. You can see the dragon is coming up in 10 seconds. Corki did grab that package. Might see a fight over this one.
Looks like both teams just got a position here. Fiora is committing on the top side and Renekton is gonna match her, but Ardent again giving up that position, even though they do have a ward in Dragon.
Yep, the 1v1 in the top lane though, Rinoa, right, just falling to this pool party. Fiora may be able to slice and dice out of this one there. The turret is gonna be able to keep her alive, and Noxkin's looking very scary right now in the top lane.
It's really hard at this point in the game for Renekton to match up at that Fiora. He kind of got countered during the draft phase, but nonetheless, Renekton still can make a splash in these team fights. And again, this is really what we want to see from Ardent, but looks like they are going to give up position on this dragon, and I don't think they can contest this.
Yeah, Twisted Fate ultimate has been popped as well, just to spot Ardent out. Lorem Ipsum are going to pick up that second dragon for themselves, and they're going to continue building that lead.
So if Ardent, knowing that they can't really send anyone to 1v1 that Fiora, they really need to group together and find the picks. They do have stuns, right? They have stuns from Renekton, they have Bubble from Nami, they have AoEs, they have mobile combo from Gamil from Gamil, right? I'm just gonna call it Gamil now. But they have all these tools, but they're not using it. They're just responding to what Lorem is doing, and Lorem can just play out this 1-3-1 or 1-4 if you want to, because Fiora is a beast right now. You look at that. Triforce is completed. She even has Executioner's Calling to just reduce the amount of healing from the side of Ardent. I don't know, man. I really want to see something more from Ardent. They need to do something.
That's right. Baron is alive, and that could be a place where Ardent might try to set up a death bush or something. They do have a pretty decent amount of crowd control on their end as well, but it looks like they're the ones who are getting caught out right there. Flash being blown there by Ja on the Galio to just have to get away from Lorem Ipsum, who have full control over the river at this point.
The goal lead is about 5,000, and I think it is reflective of the items here. Lorem is around 2 items compared to 1.5 on the side of Ardent. Still, there is still huge team fighting potential from Ardent, and Baron is on the board. Lorem is already moving there, trying to secure some vision, maybe get a pick.
Yeah, this is the place just now where the Galio had to flash, and this time they end up using a tidal wave to disengage as well. Back in
It's
the
kind of
bot lane.
unnecessary.
Yeah, it was unfortunately, but I don't know, like you say, you know, Ardent are just always trying to respond instead of making the first move, and they are kind of playing their cards when it's not too necessary.
Well, Nami ultimate use, but I think it's gonna come out soon anyway. Nothing much lost from that. But Lorem Ipsum just try to push in these waves, trying to get priority here in order to open up the top side of the map. It is quite hard for them to down this mid tower, right? As long as Ardent puts Galio here, they do still have the wave clear going for them. So even though they can't respond to the Fiora, they do have wave clear on the other sides of the map. So how are they going to use this? You know, can they teleport behind enemy lines? Can Camille and Galio find that opportunity? And Nami needs to maybe stop using that tidal wave to disengage, but rather for engage.
That's right. Lorem have once again been the first one to the Baron. They're gonna take it down to about 3,000. It's not even spotted out just yet. Camille is being zoned by the Twisted Fate. And before you know it, Baron is gonna be going down. Camille trying to very best to flash in, but does not get it. That's gonna be red team with the Baron. But are they gonna lose anything for that one? Ardent are trying to re-engage right now. They've caught out that Twisted Fate. It's gonna take him out. Corki so far putting out a lot of damage, getting those shutdowns, and just like this, Lorem, they got the Baron, but they're gonna lose 2, maybe even 3 people. Nami gonna flash forward with the ebb and flow parried, but it doesn't matter because Nami is on the board as well. And Ardent, finally, their response is adequate. They take 3 members of Lorem down.
That was so good. That's really exactly what we wanted to see from them for the past, what, 10 minutes? But finally, here on the 12th minute, Ardent decide, okay, Corki's online. He went back, immediately bought SS River, Triforce. I mean, this Corki is going to be huge in this late game, and Lorem needs to watch out. Nami as well, completing that stuff of flowing water is just going to make them even more elusive in these team fights. It's going to empower the movement speeds and give her teammates a little bit more AP as well as ability haste. So Ardent not out of the game just yet. You know, they just need a few more of these engages if they want to take the win.
Definitely, but for now, Lorem still have Baron on 2 of their members. They're still going to be able to push in these waves. The Cloud Dragon is up, and Ardent do have the package on their Corki. The question really is, are they going to contest this one? But for now, Lorem are trying to use that Baron to push in the mid lane.
Yeah, Lorem is back to their 1-3-1 strategy because they still have Baron, even though they lost that team fight. But it is still on, I believe, Brom and Twisted Fate right here. So pressuring this mid lane, and Ardent, they have their ultimates. It looks like they are still going to be a little bit more defensive. Still not sure what they're trying to do, you know. They need to be the ones making the first move, and they can't just end up punishing Lorem at objectives. And
Yeah,
we
right
see
now-
them here struggle.
Yeah, it looks like the pattern is...
Oh. Huh?
Yeah, well, that's a little odd, but yeah, as I was saying, the pattern right now is that Lorem will take a chunk out of their tower, they will walk forward and try to respond, but they will already have lost the majority of the current health, and then the cycle will just repeat, and then that's how the mid lane turret just went down there.
Yeah, I don't know why Nami used the ultimate right there, but looks like Lorem just gotta pick up yet another objective. So I'm not sure what Ardent is waiting for, because from that last team fight, we see here Corki. Oh my goodness, 3
Yeah.
items: Solari, Essence, and Triforce. I mean, massive. Like, Corki is extremely massive, and they really need to play around him. They need to be able to team fight and set him up instead of trying to match Lorem in a 1-3-1, which Ardent know that they can't.
Yeah, that's right. If you look at the goal lead now between the AD carries, is pretty much even in gold. Just now before that Baron fight, Kaisa had a huge advantage. But at this point, Aya Babe on this Corki is gonna put out a lot of damage as well. Does have the Nami as well with the Staff of Flowing Water, another new item. You would call it Staff of Flowing Water if you're British, and Staff of Flowing Water if you were American. But it's a new item that does provide a lot of ability haste, which synergizes well with Corki because it allows him to recharge more of those missiles faster and land more of that poke damage. But Lord Ipsum are setting up a death push right now. There are no wards in this one. And Rob's gonna catch out there. Now we're gonna use the tidal wave once again to disengage, but there's a Fiora on her face, forced to use that flash and that heal just to get away.
So Laura wants to open up Baron, which is why they set in that death push, but oh.
Some more death push action happening right here. Ja has had to face check so many of these in her lifetime this current match, and every time walks away with about half of her health taken out. So again,
and it
Lorem
speaks a lot about their team composition, right? For Lorem, they can't catch someone. Right? They try and chunk them down. They try and catch up Galio. They even try to jump on Nami, but they can't because they don't have the tools for that. This is not their team composition. This is actually what we want Ardent to do. We want Ardent to be able to catch people out with this wombo combo, but they haven't really been doing that. So I'm quite puzzled at what both teams are trying to do.
Yeah, I think right now it's working out for Lorem at the very least. They've got this Fiora split pushing in the bot lane. You can see the health bar on Rinoa there looking very slim. And the turret already just going down to those cannon minions. And another flash being blown defensively there from the side of Ardent.
Yeah, with that pressure on bot side of the map, Lorem gonna start up Baron, but they have to be careful. Corki does have a really big package right there.
Ah yes, the really big package of Corki, that's right. Twisted Fate Ultimate was used as well to scout that one out. I'm sure Laura have to be careful of that big package right there. Back in...
Yes, I shall refrain from saying such things.
Yeah, I believe back in the previous Wild Rift Open, we did see a play where a Corki and a Garen with the package fought a Baron and stole the Baron, got themselves a bunch of kills as well, managed to end the game. So Corki with the package, definitely a force to be reckoned with. We're not gonna say big package anymore, just package, but still Lorem have control over the river once again, always forcing Ardent to face check into them.
Yeah, I wrote about that highlight play, and it really reminds us, right, that in this status where, yes, Lorem may be up in gold, but this Corki, realistically, if everyone on the map is equal and they go out on full 5v5, Corki really has the ability to carry the team as a champion, with the items even. So if you thought that he was a menace in the previous patch, right now we're on 2.4 with all this Solari Charge Blade and Essence Reaver, he's gonna hurt even more. So Aya, babe, it's really on you right now.
Yeah, the other dragon is up as well. You can see that Lorem, they were hanging around in that tri-bush trying to set up a little trap of their own, but right now it looks like Ardent actually, just with no response at all to this other dragon take, Lorem have gotten that one with all 4 dragons, and Ardent did not move towards the Baron or anything. They're gonna get spawned out by Twisted Fate Ultimate as well. Rengar popping his ultimate to try to chase anyone down. Twisted Fate coming in with that Destiny. Magalio trying best zone, but just not tanky enough to stopwatch being forced there. Camille gonna try to jump onto the Kaisa. Galio gonna fall. Let's see what Corki can do. Corki is able to take out that Fiora right now, kiting back with the Valkyrie as well. That's gonna be 2 down. The Rengar, it's just walking straight onto that Valk, and Corki, Iron Babe trying her very best there. Twisted Fate able to take that Renekton out, and Kaisa finding that kill on the Camille there. The bot lane from Ardent staying alive, but the rest of their team not being so lucky.
Oh, that was so close. That was so close. It was almost a quirky pentakill.
Mhm.
But Aya Babe fell a bit too low. I think they just decided
Yeah.
to peel back, and Nami there, Azira doing a really good job helping her teammate out, helping out her massive AD carry right here. But we
Yes.
want to see that more, right? It is possible for Corki to do this again in the next team fight and get a pentakill and carry the team.
Yeah, definitely. I think Kodomo did a very good job as well on the Brom. She blocked out a lot of the damage from the Corki. Really helped out her squishies as well, especially when they were kiting. I think Rengar fell because Rengar went too far forward and walked past the Brom. She, it's stand behind Brom, not stand in front of Brom. So when you stand in front of Brom, you just get deleted by the Corki. But when you
Hey, if you
stand
play
behind,
Rengar, you don't really want to stand behind anything, right?
fair
Rengar
enough.
players only move forward. What are you talking
Fair
about?
enough. Fair enough, but unfortunately not enough damage to delete that Corki on the Rengar right now. 2, 2, and 5 with 3 items. They're building a Charge Blade as well. Unfortunately, not really enough to one-shot that Corki there with the Valkyrie as well as the Quicksilver Dash. But Rengar popping the ultimate again. Oh dear, Camille getting caught out for sure and just going down. Iron Babe does have the package, but it's forced to use it defensively once again. Galio going in. Corki coming out.
Oh, that was so unfortunate. That package could have been an offensive play, but Ardent just being forced out and oh, okay. Looks like they have to give up this Baron. They have to give up yet another objective. I don't know, Ardent. Ardent.
Yeah, I don't know.
First
Right
game
now,
of the day, maybe.
yeah, things really not looking good for Ardent at this point because unlike the previous Baron where only 2 members of Lorem actually got it in the end, now all 5 members have it and that really allows them to play their 1-3-1 to their advantage. As you can see there, Twisted Fate picking up 2 of those turrets in the top lane, mid lane turret falling in as well. Lorem are going to start to walk these minions in to the Nexus, and of course Fiora is pushing that bot lane as well.
GA completed here on Corki, so Aya Babe can be a little bit more aggressive if she wanted to. And they have to start taking these risks, right, for Ardent. If not, they're just gonna get withered down.
Minions coming in on the bot side there. Already losing about 700 of them. Turns out, what was that damage right there? Onto the turret from the gold card. My goodness. Gold card Lynch Bane rapid fire cannon just taking about 1000 health off that turret. Now really Ardent are on their last feet. They need to do something now. They need to find their way forward. This Nexus is open. They have no turrets left. Baron empowered super minions are gonna start marching their way forward. How can Ardent respond? Rengar gonna jump forward right now. Keep your eyes on him. He's gonna try to delete someone. Flashes away. Twisted Fate has arrived as well. The first person to go down in the Guardian Angel will be Renekton, and Galio is gonna actually lose his life right now. The Guardian Angel in the middle of the enemy team. That Camille, where is the Corki? Unfortunately, not enough damage at all from that Corki in that last fight. And that's gonna be Lorem Ipsum picking up game 1 in this BO3 series.
Yeah, congratulations to Laura. They played out their team composition well. They recognized that they could do the 1v1. They got their Fiora going. And even though the scoreline doesn't say much, if you look at it, Fiora 0 and 3, but she had a lot of cross-map pressure, right? We have to point that out. And she was definitely an integral part of this victory.
Absolutely just able to constantly drop Rinoa down to like 100 health. I don't know how many times we saw the Fiora, like we move over to wherever the Fiora and Renekton are and we're like, oh look, the Renekton's health bar is super low right now. I wonder why. Fiora there with actually the most gold on her team, just constantly pushing in that side lane. Really helping out in that 1-3-1 composition.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get to see Aya Babe shine. Arden was not really sure of how to play out this team composition, even though they put together quite a good one where you have a lot of one more combo. You also have peel for Corgi.
Yeah.
But that's it. Lorem Ipsum did a great job. Minaka as well. Want to point out, this TF, looking at a TF walking up to the enemy team with a card and not getting punished, I think that was
Mm.
quite an interesting sight to see. I thought
Yeah.
Ardent could have stepped on it and really punished Minaka for walking up that much more, but nonetheless, it looks like Lorem knew what they were doing. They were very clear about their game plan, and they secured, I think, almost every single objective, right? Every dragon
Every
and baron.
single every single
Yeah,
objective
except that
actually.
that Rift Herald in the early game
Yeah.
where they traded. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Wow. Congratulations to Lorem. They've picked up the first game, but of course it's not over. It is a best of 3 series. So now the question really it comes back down to Ardent. You know, what are you gonna do to the ball is really in your court right now. What are you gonna do to not get dropped in the next game? You know, if you take the next game, you can bring it on to a game 3 versus your opponents. But if you falter again, then it's game over for you. And because this is a single elimination, there is zero chance of any comeback from the lower bracket. If you're out, you are out. So Ardent, you guys, it's time for you guys to really make the first move, do something to get yourselves the next game.
Yeah, because it is match point for Lorem if they win this one, but Ardent still have a chance to come back, maybe try and change up the team composition, maybe try and do something different. It seems like they drafted well, but it may not have suited their playstyle, right?
Yeah, absolutely agreed. Well, we're gonna be going for a short break now, but when we come back, we're gonna see game 2 of Ardent versus Lorem Ipsum. Stay tuned. Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to the FSL Wild Rift Open 3. We're here for Game 2, Ardent versus Lorem Ipsum. Lorem Ipsum currently right now is one game up on Ardent. So really the question is, what can Ardent do to come back in Game 2?
Yeah, they had a Wombo combo team composition with Camille, Galio, Nami, as well to peel for the Corky. But they didn't really make it work. They seem to be on the back foot a lot of the time. And it's quite uncharacteristic of them because they did go 5-1 in the group stage, whereas Lorem, I believe, went 2-2.
No, it's the other way
Oh,
around.
Lorem went 5-1 and Ardent
Yes.
went 2-2. I got mixed up. But
It's
yeah, so I guess they are playing out to their scoreline right now, because Lorem seemed a lot more in
Ooh.
control of the game. And
Oh
yay, we
dear.
have a Ziggs.
We have a Lucian as well. Things not looking too good right now. I mean, we talked just now in the intro about how strong Lucian and Ziggs are, and unfortunately, we look at which side those two picks are on.
It's
Well,
on the
they're on
side of
Lorem's side.
Lorem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not to mention Ardent here sticking to that quirky Nami combo, which I think worked for them. And
Mhm.
to set them up, now we have Jarvan. So Jarvan locking down the opponents in his ultimate, combined with Nami and for Corky to really peel, I think that could definitely work. Ari as well coming in here.
Yeah.
So I guess instead of a wombo combo team comp like what we saw from the last game, here they have a bit more options, right? They have a little bit more flexibility. They can use Ari and Javan to single out a single target and burst it down, but at the same time, they do have some AoEs for that team fight.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the side of Laura, as you mentioned, oh my goodness, can you imagine seeing Lucian and Ziggs on the same team? I cannot, but here we are.
Yeah, we do have to mention that Ardent did lose one ban because they came in late from the lobby. So I almost feel like if Ardent had a third ban there, they would ban out either one, so that hey, at least they wouldn't have to deal with both. But
That's true.
really prioritizing the Nami and Corky over picking up the Ziggs, mm, that's pretty interesting. But regardless, I feel like things are better right now for Ardent compared to game one, because actually in game one we noticed they really had a lack of damage. Other than Corky, no one did like more than like 10,000 damage on their side. But now they've got the Fiora, they've got the Ari that can kind of cover and spread their damage out a little more.
Yeah, we see the Baron laners just switch up those champions instead of Redacted and Fiora. They swapped around, so
Mhm.
we're gonna have to see whether it works out for the side of Ardent this time. And Lorem again with that invade.
Yeah, they're just standing around in that bush, something they like to do a lot. They're gonna place down their ward. There are 3 members right now in the middle lane. They can send Rinoa there as well just to help to shove this first wave out.
No shenanigans at level 1 this time around. No trading of blows. I think it's good if you're on the side of Ardent. You are kind of looking to win the second game right here. And yeah, after their first mid lane push, everyone is going to their standard lanes. But look there, Ziggs with the priority, just getting that blast cone. Wait, is it called? No, it's not called blast cone. It's
No,
the
it's the
vision cone.
vision cone.
The
Yes,
vision cone.
vision plant. Whatever you'd like to call it. I think it's a scrying plant. I think that's the correct name.
Yes, correct. Well, it does spot Jarvan out, so Laura have full information of where he is. And again, another ward. You saw Braum, I think, who put it over
Yeah.
the wall at level 1. And they know exactly where Jarvan is. Whereas on the side of Ardent, they don't know where Camille is. So, first potential gank, probably higher chance on the side of Laura.
Yeah, that's right. Both Scuttle Crabs are up, and now it looks like both junglers are gonna start to take it actually. I may not be telling you the truth right now because Camille is walking up into that bush there. It's not watered, I believe, but a bit of a late gang
A
there,
bit of
kind
a
of giving up that
stretch.
information. Meanwhile, Jarvan was able to pick up that Scuttle Crab and just poking her head around mid lane there. Nothing too much happening right now in the early game.
maybe a little bit of a miscommunication as well for Laura. Renekton kind of went in a little bit too far. It scared the Fiora off. By the time that Camille wanted to jump in, she was way too far up near her tower. So that's it. Renekton will push in Fiora in these early levels, and bot lane seems like they're just happy to farm.
Yeah, that's right. Lucian Brom is pretty scary on an all-in because of the Brom's passive. You can, and the Lucian's passive as well, where he shoots 2 bullets after his spells. You can really stack that passive very quickly and land a stun. And if you do land a stun, and if you have culling, well, you can really do a lot of damage there in those one-on-one fights. So you should keep an eye out for those later. Meanwhile, level 5s are starting to appear across the board right now. I believe nearly everyone has them except the support. So gonna maybe see some ultimate enhanced gang soon.
And also interesting that Lorem put Ziggs in mid and Lucian at the Dragon lane, because if they have these two champions, they always had the option to flex, right? And I would think here, I mean, against Ahri, if you had a Lucian, you might have a lot more pressure on her, because if it's Ziggs versus, they're just gonna clear the wave. But if it's Lucian versus Ahri, and Lucian versus any mage, he actually does have that kill pressure, and he has the ability to keep their HP down.
That's true, but I also think that Ziggs Brom isn't really a great lane either. In terms
Well,
of
if you're just gonna
what
add up farming, which you are doing
Fair
against a
enough.
Corki, you might as well. But nonetheless,
Fair enough.
here we are, level 6 already on the Jarvan, and so is Fiora.
Again, we see Ardent placing emphasis on the Rift Herald over the Dragon right now, and they're gonna pay for it with the life of Aya Babe. They're taking down First Blood onto the Lucian. Meanwhile, Ardent, the rest of their members are gonna be doing that Rift Herald, dropping it down to about 4,000. Doesn't look like there's gonna be any contest, but instead, Lorem are gonna trade that once again for the Dragon.
Yeah, this is like a replay of the last game where Lauren placed emphasis on the dragon and Ardent really wanted that first herald. But in return, Ardent, Corki had to pay the price with his life and might again.
Oh, gonna face check this one. The hook shot though does not land, but it does force the package defensively. That could have been very scary there, but we can see the reply from Ardent in the top lane. Renekton gonna pop that dominance to try to clear the wave out. They're gonna take down this turret for sure, and now Renekton might be in a spot of trouble. The Cataclysm, but didn't wait for that dice right there. If just waited a little bit longer, Renekton wouldn't have been able to dash out of that one, but now Skin's keeping herself alive.
Yeah, you're right. The mechanics there, not quite what you wanted to do, but that's alright. Ardent managed to trade and they are still not in the goal lead, but I would say they are much better positioned compared to where they were the last game. And as you can see here, they changed up the team composition. They do have something more going for them, and I guess that's why we see them pick priority on that Corki, right? We were wondering why they keep going for that Corki in the beginning of their draft. But you know, it's safe. You know, he just packaged out. He could absorb that 2v1 pressure.
Yeah, the thing is that we're seeing them. I feel like they're losing out on the trade. Ardent always, because the thing is that Lorem picked up the dragon, they picked up a kill, and they picked up a turret. Ardent only picked up the herald, which they then used to pick up that same turret that Lorem picked up anyway. Like, it doesn't make. It doesn't seem really like a worthwhile trade to me.
Oh yeah, if you think about long-term investment, of course the dragon did go to the side of Lorem, and the first death of Corki was probably unnecessary because you know, she knew that the rest of the team were committing to Herald. There was no reason for her to stay on the tower, but she did, and I guess that's a little bit why of the goal went a bit more to the side of Lorem. But nonetheless, really curious to see here as we enter the mid game how Ardent can respond or rather set up their own plays, right? Because they spent a lot of time in game 1 responding to what Lorem was doing. And Ardent here, now they have the tools, they have Jarvan for their engage, so maybe they might be a little bit more bold. Okay.
Yeah, that's bold.
That's
right there,
a little bit more bold, yeah.
Bring that Valkyrie forward. To
Valkyrie forward,
land a
not
single
Valkyrie
missile.
back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Onto
Step
the
by step, yeah? Step by step.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Well, things though, you do see that Lucian does have that one kill and has that Essence Reaver right now. And, Lucian being that S tier 80 carry with the Essence Reaver first item can be very, very strong. Of course, Corki is another one of those S tier 80 carries as well. So later we can really see, we can compare the damage output. But for now, Ardent are sending 3 members to top lane to kind of relieve a little bit of pressure off Rinoa.
Yeah, it seems like both teams are just happy to farm up. They do have their one item power spike on the side of all those who prefer the Triforce. So Corki, Camille, as well as Fiora, they're sitting pretty happy on that. And for now, I don't know. Like, both teams don't really seem to have a plan. Maybe they're just trying to eye the next dragon, in which Lorem is resetting for. So we know that they do love their dragons. They do want to set it up. Pings are already going down. And what we want to see is how Ardent is going to use their ultimates here. Jarvan already has that GA, the Guardian Angel, so he can be a bit more aggressive, can go in, and can set up for the team.
Yeah, the dragon is spawning right now, and you're right, Ardent are the first ones here for now, but Corki just taking that package signals to Lorem that he's not actually here yet. They have some time to continue to shove out that mid lane. But Corki with the package, of course, has to be respected for sure.
If Lorem wants to get that priority here in mid, and that's it. They do make the right move, they push in mid wave, they try to scan out the wards here in Dragon, denying Ardent the prior vision that they set down. So now Ardent has to push out their own wave and get vision down again, otherwise they are not in position to take this dragon.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are just gonna walk away from the dragon for now. Lorem picking to continue to pressure down that mid lane. I think they're really just waiting out this package for Corki because it only lasts for like
They
1
can't
minute.
recall though. Oh, well there we go.
Yeah, that's it. Waited out, done.
But they can't recall, like nobody is recalling on the map, which you see right here. Everyone has been posturing for the past 1 minute. No one really stepping on the pedal.
Yeah.
Just
I think
hovering
that's-
in bushes, really.
Yeah, but now you can see that Lorem has started up this dragon because now they know that the package is not up. They see the Fiora in the top lane as well, who's going up against that Renekton right now. The ultimate from the Fiora coming out, the Ignite as well. A lot of damage onto Noxkins, but again, surviving there with a sliver of health. The Braum, there's actually a member of Art in there trying to steal Jarvan. It was not successful, but now Camille's gonna try to take him out. Ari dashing over the wall as well, further into the territory of Lorem Ipsum, and that might be a huge mistake. Ardent lose the dragon, and they lose 2 members as well.
Yeah, that was not what you wanted on the side of Ardent. I think it was a good move for Fiora to pressure the Renekton, seeing that Lorem started up the dragon. But giving your lives over like that is just extra gold, you know. You give them extra pocket money for Lorem to get that one item ahead of you. I don't know why Java needed to steal that. They really could have set it up a lot better. They could have decided as a team how they wanted to layer these crowd controls and really catch out one target on the side of Lorem. Of course, if you think about it, Lucian is very elusive, so not the target you want. If you could land a charm or a bubble, or use Java's Cataclysm to catch out Ziggs, that might be more useful. But again, we see Ardent struggle with the same things that they did in Game 1. Like, how are they going to initiate, even though they draft an engaged team composition?
Yeah, that's right. That's pretty strange. Renekton using the portable, landing a lot of damage onto the Fiora, who's in turn forced the Flash, gonna survive that Ignite. And yeah, these 2 top laners are going at it again and again. This time they took Ignite instead of Barrier, but still unable to find the extra damage required to finish off their opponents, you know.
It really sounds like a round 2 fight, and then
Yeah.
no one goes for barrier anymore. They're like, alright, I'm just gonna go for Ignite this game too, and both of them are just trying to one up each other. You know, it really feels like that.
Yeah. But unfortunately, though, nothing really coming off
Yeah,
it. Always
but
surviving with
nothing
a single health.
happens.
Yeah. Always just neck and neck, trading those ultimates. But yeah, um, the Baron is up right now, and Lorem have the entire area, including the top side of their enemy's jungle, warded up. So that really allows for them to perhaps set up a death bush, like you did see them try a lot of in the previous game.
Yeah, the difference here for Lorem is that previously they used TF to zone people out, try to catch people with that gold card. Of course, he's not the best initiator, so in this team composition, they have Camille. So instead of just disengaging or trying to find a target at the death bush, they really do have a hard-on engage here from Camille. She can go in with that hook shot and follow up, Renekton stun, Braum as well with that slows and potential stun coming out. I think they're in a much better spot as well. So if they want to set up for an objective, they want to camp in the death bush, they have the tools. And knowing Lorem, they are so into these objectives, right? They're quite good at setting it up. They know when to scan out the wards, when to place them down. And Baron is alive, so we see them push out the waves and try and open up the map.
Yeah, they're just gonna continue opening up the map, although there's an engage right now onto this Renekton. He's a pretty beefy boy though. Is he beefy enough? Unfortunately, no. Ardent are gonna be able to find that kill, but the Corki is trapped in the Hextech ultimatum. They're forced to flash away the Braum with the Glacial Fissure as well afterwards. Little odd there, but yeah, Ardent are gonna lose their top laner, when you can't 1v1, you can't win that, and you just bring your entire team,
But pigs going down from the side of Ardent. They did send Fiora to the top side of the map, which means it is another free dragon for Lorem? Really?
Yeah, looks like it's just gonna be given up without much of a contest. Jarvan is kind of passing down, but looks a little apprehensive about it. Might be a little too late to the party there, though the re-engage might come out. The charm goes wide, the teleport in from the Fiora, I believe, as well. And yeah.
Yeah,
That was
Ardent.
unfortunate.
Oh, really, really unfortunate.
Oh. Yeah, Fiora getting caught out there. The Hextech ultimatum gonna be stuck in that Baron pit. There is no escape, or is there? Rinoa, ooh, dodging out the bomb as well. Beautiful stuff. The charm is gonna land and gonna chunk out that Ziggs as well. Ardent finding themselves in very awkward situations and just really able to get out just barely, but still losing map pressure over that.
Yes, they did give up that third Ocean Dragon. The best thing they could have done there was really to punish. A steal would be out of the question because they were not in position. But they did poke their heads right towards the end of it. They tried to find someone. They tried to punish Lorem. But nothing. You have Braum, you have also Lucian casting that ultimate just to zone Ardent out. And they were worried, right? You could see that they were positioned and they were worried that Lorem would just transit into Baron. So they also tried to poke their heads. But again, Ardent, they have the tools. Why are they not using them?
Yeah, actually, if you looked at the map just now, I think Jarvan hesitated about 3 to 4 times, just turning around and walking back before continuing to walk to the dragon. And if she just made a beeline straight for it, would have reached in time for a possible steal or maybe even picking off a person or two. I mean, Corki did attack as well. Well, we're back in the top lane again for a round. I don't even know how many, but this time it looks like Renekton might actually be able to find the kill. The counter meek is gonna miss, but the Dominus is gonna continue to suck that life out of the Fiora. And finally, this is the anime arc finishing. The fight has ended after like 2 games worth, It takes like 3 like flashbacks and like characters talking about their moves. And finally,
Bankai.
absolutely. Lorem has started up this brand. Is it gonna go down to Ardent? No, it's gonna be Lucian who secures this one. Now Ardent are in that awkward spot once again. Corki trying to put down some damage, but it's across that wall, and Jarvan is just gonna be left for dead. Ari, oh no, through the Orb of Deception backwards. That is a big oopsie right there. But Aya with the Nami is gonna start to go forward. Does not have a lot of mana right now, but has that flash straight onto that Lucian. Gonna put that damage down, and once again says, hey, We're not gonna let this go for free, but Renekton has started to push up that lane as well. Who's the only one to stop is Fiora. This is the ultimate anime arc, I feel. Uses the protocol to try to get out of this one here. But what are we looking at? We're trying to find our way onto that Renekton who's in this hard place right now. And this is when, you win when you lose the 1v1, but again, you bring your friends along. And Aya Babe is here to help out her family. Yeah, her family, that's right. Just like Fast and Furious, Ardent has family and they take that Renekton down, but still losing out on that inhibitor turret.
Yes, so many things happen there. Across the map, we see so many swings, and I think the Baron laners, Renekton and Fiora is really a skill matchup. Yes, Fiora, we are in the late game. She has, 2 items already, Blade of Rain King, as well as that Triforce. So she has that power spike, and Renekton generally, towards the end of the game, we see him struggle against Fiora, but if she uses her skills not in the right order, or if you see that she reposes something, he can definitely go in, right? I think we couldn't see the full exchange there, but it looks like one of those things happened, and...
exchange right here. Corki finding this Camille out. She cannot attack on Titan her way out of this one. Has spot of this Nami as well. Oh, I wanted to mention actually, Fiora here had 2 items during that fight, but Renekton had 4 items. So, that's pretty rough. But now the Elder Dragon has spawned. Camille did go down, so there's actually no smite on the side of Lorem, and that's why you can see Ardent here really pulling the trigger on this one. Ari gonna go in, and that's a decisive cataclysm right there. They're gonna catch out that Mega Inferno Bomb, dealing a decent amount of damage. But look at the Corki and Nami, they're stuck in the back. Nami's Tidal Wave is gonna go absolutely wide. They're Ardent trying their best to find something right now. Jarvan going in with that Flag Dragon. They've charmed up that Lucian. Lucian going down. That's gonna be Corki picking up 1 kill. The teleport, and that's the Renekton trying to do as much as he can. That's gonna be Corki going godlike, picking up 2 kills. Ziggs finding 1 in return onto the Jarvan. That's gonna be Fiora falling as well. Ardent maybe overcommitting a little on this one right now. They are forced to back away.
I like the words. Yeah, I like the words that you said. That was a decisive cataclysm. This is really what we wanted to see since game 1. And look at the fruits of their labor. Look at this party, 7-1. Aya Babe has to be feeling really good about that. 4 items. We see here exact same items from game 1. No reason to buy anything else because we are on patch 2.4. But that's it, that's it. Ardent lost so much of their HP in their fights. Yes, they got the kill, but I don't think they have what it takes to take this objective.
Ziggs just gonna get blown up right there. Who's gonna get this Elder Dragon? It was taken by the Camille. Teleports are coming in as well. Ari trying her best to land as much damage as she can, but he's just going to fall right now. Lucian has returned to the fight, and this time Aya Babe has no Nami. Can Lucian find auto attack? The relentless pursuit finally to take that Corki down. You have to think at this point it's gonna be really, really hard for Ardent to win this right now. But Lorem Ipsum, they're just gonna be backing away for now.
Yeah, the momentum really swung to Lorem here. I think this is game. Okay? I think Ardent really tried. They took their last stand. They decisively went in with Jarvan finally after 2 games. And it was a really, really good effort. They did take down the right targets, but unfortunately they lost a lot of their HP and they lost position on the dragon. But I think Jarvan's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Again, Ardent here is on the back foot. We see Lorem stacking those dragons. The long-term investment is paying off. And Corki may be a late game champion, but Lucian on these items is still a menace. And Juliver here picked up all those kills. I think it's really a matter of time, right? Because Lorem is eyeing the Baron. They already pushed in top wave. They got mid wave pushed in as well. Might try and find a pick or just conservatively go back, purchase what they need to do. We see that Lucian just picked up that Guardian Angel, so a lot of options here for Lorem.
Also, I wanted to point out that during that previous Elder Dragon fight, 3 members of Lorem changed their enchantment to teleport so that they could teleport back in, and that's really how they won their fight, you know. Lorem also have family. They heard us, and they also bring their family to Dragon so that they can take it back. And just when things start looking good for Ardent, full health Lucian and Braum and Renekton appear out of like nowhere, and they just clean up the fight.
We always talk about teleport and why we don't see it more often here because if you play a lot of solo queue, that's not really the spell that people go for. But it's really nice to see more
Oh,
teleports.
Javan, can he find it? No, it's gonna be Camille who takes that bear right now. This might just be the last fight. Corki going golden in the middle of the enemy team. That's really not what you want to see. Corki goes down, and really at this point, this time I think it's really over for Ardent. They put up a valiant fight, but at this point, Lorem are just gonna start cleaning house. Ari is gonna be going down to the Camille, flashing away, trying to keep them alive. Renoa just taking so much damage from the Zigzag. Where did the health bar go? Just gets absolutely deleted right there. Lorem Ipsum taking the Baron, taking 3 members down. They're gonna be after that Nexus. They're gonna move forward to the quarterfinals of the FSL while they open. What an exciting first series, what an exciting second game. But Lorem Ipsum are the ones who emerge on top 2-0.
Congratulations to Lorem. That was well played. You know, when we saw them in game 1 and here in game 2, they were a lot more decisive, you know, compared to Ardent. And knowing how to play out your team composition, they showed two very different things. They went from a Twisted Fate mid to here we see a Ziggs mid. And we also saw the power of their solo laners there in the Baron lane, where it was a reverse matchup. It was the anime arc between Renekton and Fiora, and then the opposite of that. And calling family down. It was so exciting,
Yeah.
Gerard.
Yeah, what an absolute banger of a match. And of course, now Lorem Ipsum have moved forward to the quarterfinals. We do want to point out that in the group stages, they were in the same group as the Dr. Hellcats, who won the previous FSL, I believe, and was in the finals of the very first FSL. So definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they went 2-0 against them. So Lorem Ipsum, perhaps a new challenger rising to
Mm-hmm.
perhaps take the championship away from either Next Play or the Hellcats. So I'm gonna be very excited to see them fighting once again in the future. But hey, Lorem Ipsum, look at the damage on that Ziggs right there, 30,000. Of course, on the other side there, Ardent have Aya Babe, who's really trying her very best. 37,000 damage on that Corki. They're really doing the work to try to carry her team, but unfortunately, just not enough.
Absolutely. Props to Aya Babe. Uh, of course, not to say the least, laws on this Camille. We always talk about how Laura Ibsen tends to prioritize these dragons, and she has been on point with those smites. Even though Arden walked up,
Yeah,
even though Arden tried to take it away, but Laws has secured every single one of them. So props to her. And great job, you know. Just I think overall the team just had a lot more coordination and communication. They were very more decisive on the map compared to Arden. So it's a victory well earned.
definitely a victory well earned for them. We're gonna be moving in for a break soon. When we come back, it's gonna be another match from the round of 16. You do not want to miss it, guys. These matches are so exciting. I'm so excited to see what else the teams bring out. We're gonna be seeing you guys soon. Don't go anywhere. Hello everyone and welcome back to the FSL Wild Rift Open 3. We're here for the second match of the round of 16. Again, I am Gerard, EscapeArtist. I'm joined by Tania. We are your casters for today. Of course, the FSL Wild Rift Open is also supported by Yahoo and sponsored by Intel.
Yeah, I hope everyone had their lunch because it is about half past 1 here already. It's a pretty hot day. I think everyone is experiencing the heat no matter where you are. So hope your bellies are full because we have another match.
Yep, that's right. We're going to be having another match. This time it's going to be Indonesia going up against Vietnam. It's a very exciting matches coming up soon. I want to say, right, speaking of heat, right, in Singapore, it rained just now at the start of the previous match, and by the end, right, when we just finished off the broadcast and I walked outside, and I just got hit by this giant blast of heat to my face. So I was like, how does it rain and stop raining in 20 minutes and just become the hottest place on the planet once again? I don't know. That's Southeast Asia, I guess.
Yeah, and maybe we might get to see Jana picked. Who knows? Maybe she can bring some monsoon winds onto the rift. But as you mentioned, it will be a Thailand versus Indonesia match. VGaming ladies going up against Belletron IC. Belletron, of course, associated with Bigatron, the very prominent Indonesian esports organization. So this is their female arm of it. And we will be jumping into the picks and bans right here. Already that's banned out. VGaming banned out Brom, Ranga, and Camille, while Bigatron banned out Lee Sin, Akali, and Fiora.
Yeah, and wow, here we see the instant Lucian pick right away.
Yeah.
VGaming lady is seeing the opportunity to take that pick, and they immediately grab it. And in response, here, Belletron are gonna pick up their Ziggs for themselves.
That's pretty interesting because Ziggs can jungle. So unless they are just saying that, we predict that Ziggs will be going into the mid lane, Fizz can actually also go there to counter, or they could also send Fizz into the jungle. They do have options right here. On the side of Belletron, I think the roles are fairly locked in. You have Sinjao for the jungle, Gragas likely going to that Baron lane, and VGaming ladies might just round out the team composition with another support. Could be AP, but you have double healing, double shielding from Nami and Seraphine. That can be quite tough to play against.
Yeah, it's gonna actually be the Seraphine and the Garen locked in right there. Garen used to be a very strong top laner. I mean, it's still decent, definitely.
He's still pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, but it's very different from the first series where we saw the Renekton and the Fiora being constantly exchanged. I mean, Fiora was banned out, but Renekton was not picked up. Instead, they opted to go for this Garen, and we might see this Irelia right here to round up the composition on Belletron.
So Belletron, it does confirm that it will be a bot lane Corki, right? With support Gragas.
Yeah.
So first time seeing here support Gragas, something that is not too conventional, but knowing that they wanted the upper hand, they do have last pick, they were on red side, so they want to send Irelia to the solo lane. And Irelia here, when she came out, I think she was pretty strong, and people started to realize that she is much stronger in the mid lane actually. So, but here I think she will be going top because you do have that Ziggs in mid who wants to wave clear and farm up against Seraphine. So we expect another wave clearing mid lane, and as I mentioned, Fizz could have been flexed, and it is confirmed that he will be going to the jungle.
Yeah, that's right, jungle Fizz, something that has it's pretty much a creation in Wild Rift that has been buffed enough several times. Gonna be interesting to see what happens here with the jungle Fizz as we do get into game. See some very nice corgi butts there being flashed. As we look at the VGaming ladies, of course, a team from Vietnam, pretty good as well. I believe they're about top 4 in Vietnam most likely, and they were 5th to 6th in the second open. They also 6-0'd their group, So wow, VGaming ladies, pretty good.
Yeah, really, the scanners going off. Everyone kind of knows how to read the opponents. It looks like everyone has been doing their homework, you know, no matter which match we go into, they know how they like to play out the level ones, and no trading of blood this time around, just trading of wards and vision. That this is very typical. We always see mid laners get priority and then proc that scrying orb, that scrying plant just to get the extra vision. But VGaming, knowing that Xin Zhao was not there, so he's not gonna get spotted out, just gonna do that red buff quietly. Might see an early gank as well. Garen hitting that level 2.
Yep, oh, the re-engage though with the stun, and Galio and Irelia are gonna be doing a lot of trading in this top lane. Now, we did talk a bit about the VGaming ladies, but I do have some information about Belletron as well. They've been very active playing in female tournaments. They were in the top 12 in the last Open, and they were also in the top 2 of the Queen of Rift that happened about 2 weeks ago. Wow, this top lane absolutely spicy right now. More action. It's hotter than Singapore. That's gonna be first blood there for VGM. They're gonna be giving that over to the Garen. Whew, wow.
Yeah, the curious thing about Garen on patch 2.4 is that a lot of teams tend to be ignoring him, but actually, they didn't do anything to him, right? He's neither buffed nor nerfed. Sure, the items are more AD carry centric, didn't really benefit him. I think they threw in a few defensive new items on patch 2.4 as well, but Garen kind of got ignored just because maybe he just wasn't the flavor of the month. You know, we keep seeing the Renekton, the Fiora, but don't underestimate this guy.
Yeah, definitely. I think that might have been what happened actually, because Vira there on the Irelia still had the Ignite available. But Garen used his barrier, and that little small health difference there probably could have been covered by that. So that was a bit of a mistake there.
Of course, we do expect Irelia to ramp up later on once she hits that first item power spike, and especially that 2-item power spike. She can definitely trade with Garen a lot better with that true damage, but for now, you know, Garen pretty happy with that lead and that upper hand. Irelia just has to play a bit more defensive.
Yeah, I agree. Both of them have their level 5. Actually, no, only Irelia has level 5 for some reason. Garen is actually still level 4. But you can see level 5 is really starting to come up across the board. Fizz does have that level 5 and is hanging around in the top lane right now. Gonna walk into that bush, not spotted out at all by this blade searching Irelia. Garen is gonna go in for a little bit of a trade, and Irelia gonna continue on with that. Does not make the dash though, but in the bot lane there's gonna be a gank as well. Heals being forced, culling being forced out as well. Belletron is gonna be a Xin Zhao that makes the first gank.
There was a nice bubble. It was a good attempt, of course, by Belletron. But Fizz is still here.
Fizz going on to that Irelia right there. Gerard dropping pretty low, but once again, with the shield, with the barrier, not gonna go down.
You know what they say, bait it.
Absolutely baited and outsmarted right there.
I think it was quite a wise move for Fizz to just stick it up top, because VGaming got the information that Belletron committed Xin Zhao onto bot side, right? And nothing happened. It was a good disengage by Nami. So Fizz decided, yeah, I'm just gonna stick around because the wave was pushing into Garen. And after, I believe Irelia went back just to take that honey fruit, get a bit of health, and then she started going back to lane, try to push in again, and that's where she got caught out.
Oh boy, Ziggs getting caught out as well. Forced to flash away. Garen trying to flash to do more damage, but not happening. Meanwhile, Tidal Wave gonna go pretty wide that package to try to zone people out, but Corky is pretty zoned out himself, gonna be going down there. The dragon is gonna be picked up by Xin Zhao, but for the other people on Belletron, they're gonna be losing their life. That's 2 down in exchange for the dragon.
Yeah, Belletron get that dragon, get that investment, but VGaming here, I feel like they do have the tempo lead, right? They know how to play out these team fights. They're really strong with the Nami and Seraphine. We saw, even though Nami completely with the out, it didn't matter. A couple of heals, a couple of shields, nobody on the side of VGaming dropped, and they managed to punish Belletron for taking that dragon. And right here now, we see they're gonna reset and it will into mid game, so the rotations are already coming in.
Tania, correct me if I'm wrong here, but this is the first item Rabadon on the list. That's a lot of power right there. That's something that you don't see every day.
Yeah.
Rift Herald is gonna be going down to Belletron. That's gonna be a Valkyrie forward there from the Conky. I don't think that's really how you want to do things. And oh my goodness, that's a massive 3-man roof into the tidal wave there. Belletron, their health bars are just vanishing like that. VGaming ladies pulling off some magic tricks. Once again, Belletron get the objective, but they lose 4 members.
That is so hard to play against. We saw this coming in the draft. We saw the Seraphine and Nami. And what are you going to do against those 2 long-range AoE ultimates?
Well, not, you're gonna die. That's what's gonna happen, I guess.
There's no Braum to block it out, right? And Belletron, I don't think they can punish here. VGaming just gotta disengage. There's no reason to fight. And the thing is, Belletron, okay, I think they do have Gragas ultimate. So if you can disrupt the team fight, if you can prevent the Nami and Seraphine combo, that could be it. And you also have Xin Chao who goes in with ultimate. He can knock away people and try and play out these team fights. But the thing is, they are going into very near melee range, and it's hard for them to do that. It looks like they're just going to be satisfied here, just trading, knowing that VGaming expended those ultimates, don't really have the mana to continue. So Belletron, not too bad a trade. They take top tower and they use that Rift Herald to advantage. They're not too far away, just about 3k cooldown.
That's right, but you ask yourself, where is the gold lead? The gold lead right now, 1,600 of it is in the hands of the AD carry. That's about half an item. And speaking of the AD carry there, on that Lucian, it's starting, ladies and gentlemen. Culling, just a flash over the wall right there. No cares in the world given. This is gonna be an easy kill for the Lucian.
It's so far, the teams that have picked Lucian, that we've seen on stream, win with Lucian, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like this story will change because he's just that much stronger right now compared to other AD carries, and he has so much mobility. Not to mention he has 2 supports as well as a Fizz who just went for Rabadon straight up.
Yeah, that's right. Straight up Rabadon's Fizz there. I love it, I saw the 2 needless large rods, I was like, at least he could have done Rabadon. I decided not to say anything, but yeah.
Yeah. That is very bold, very confident move. If your opponents open the item tab and see that, I mean, do you quiver in fear?
Yeah, I think you quiver in fear right now, especially because of this Lucian as well, who forces another flash. And I think at this point it's kind of a distinction between teams. I'm gonna start calling them the Lucian team and the no Lucian team.
Oh no!
And we're gonna see how many times the Lucian team takes the win right now. Looks like it could be 2 wins to the Lucian so far, but things looking pretty good right now for these gaming ladies. They're gonna be catching out the Gerard though. He's dropped pretty low, but there's not enough damage from this corner at the moment. He's only got like 1 item, the Essence Reaver by the way, not the Triforce that we saw in the previous series. Dragon is going to start up, Culling coming out. Teleports as well. Sterex was popped and so was the Stoneblade from the Switch out, so it's not going to be very tanky anymore. Dragon down to about 2,000. He's the eyes of the Fizz though. He's across the wall. That's going to be Gragas trying to go in, but the Seraphine ultimate is going to stop him out. The Fizz jumping in and gets the Ocean Dragon right there. That's a huge problem for Belletron because not only do they lose their members, they lose the Dragon as well.
Oh my god, that was so heartbreaking because as Gragas used the ultimate to try and disrupt that Seraphine Nami combo, Irelia also ulted at the same time, which caused her ultimate to miss. So, that was so painful to watch. Belletron, really, really unfortunate. But the idea was there, just that the execution wasn't.
Yeah. And I guess at this point you kind of ask yourself, what was the reasoning behind picking this Gragas support? Because as we mentioned, it's not a very conventional thing, really. It should probably be something that you would pick only if you're well practiced on it, and I would say that these kind of mistakes, hopefully they're not a frequent kind of error, because if they are there, I don't know, maybe there are better supports to pick other than Gragas.
He really is just there for the cast, for the barrels, for the slows and the disrupts. And on red side, Belletron really wanted Irelia to snowball because they sacrificed the Gragas pick in order for her to shine. But unfortunately, lost out in that 1v1, and I think it was at level 2,
Yeah.
where Garen had the level advantage over her and really took advantage of that. Yeah, I mean, it really is the story of the snowballing Baron lane, and we saw in that dragon fight where Belletron expended so much on Garen. This is Garen without the support of Nami and Seraphine, and still they could not kill him.
Yeah, that's right. Gerard is very tanky. She now gets a dead man space. Well, gonna be another engage from the VGaming ladies. They're gonna catch out Liv there on the Corki. Who is going to live? Or is he? That's gonna be a Gerard coming in with the Demacian Justice and the spin. Gonna be 2 easy kills. Gonna walk out of that turret and it's just gonna stay alive. What is this right now? This Gerard just drove the inhibitor turret, picked up 2 kills, and just walked out. Didn't even need to use the flash, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Only the barrier was used. My
It was
goodness.
so obnoxious. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed by VGaming that they recognized that Garen was not bad. It's just that teams just haven't been picking him, but he's still clearly extremely strong.
Oh my goodness, that's gonna be the steal right there from that Sinja. Unfortunately, Fizz missing out the smite by 80 health there, and I wanted to say that was pretty overconfident from VGaming ladies because they were so low and they have a Ziggs on the side of Belletron who was just constantly poking them out. And then when the Sinja went into the pit, they couldn't stand in there because they were so low. And then now Belletron with the Baron have a chance of coming back.
Yeah, VGaming expended a lot of mana, a lot of their abilities in the previous fight where Garen jumped 2 turrets. And yeah, as you mentioned, maybe a little bit more greedy there, trying to take the Baron as well, but looks like Belletron managed to steal it. He also managed to get... Well, actually they didn't get any kills, right? They just managed to steal the Baron, which is good enough for them because we see here them trying to break open mid tower, which they haven't done. So it's already the mid game, we're going to late game, and mid tower is still standing, which is really hard for them because they can't open up the map. They can't do a lot of things if this turret is still there. So hopefully, I think slowly but surely they are pushing in with the Ziggs when we see that Satchel Bond come out. It's gonna take, I think, a bit more waves than this because... Oh, maybe not. Oh, you should?
Nope, I think that might be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
Well
this
done.
Baron, I think, yeah, Belletron, I would say if VGaming ladies got that Baron right there, they could have potentially just ended the game.
Yeah.
But now that Belletron have it, they really have this big chance to push back, and so far we're seeing them make good use of this Baron because not only are they pushing in the mid lane, they have this Irelia right now who's split pushing. You know, you may be 0 and 3, but you can still give Baron buff to the minions and you can still smack that turret down, and that's exactly what this Irelia is doing in the side lanes.
Not to mention she has that 2-item power spike. She can stand up to Gerard now, I think, with that Blade of the Ruin King and Triforce completed, and Belletron using that priority that they got from Baron for to secure this Infernal Dragon. VGaming?
The Dragon's going in, but the body slam did not land. Gets charmed up. There's gonna be a lot of members, and once again, Fizz stealing that Infernal Dragon there, saying you're not gonna outsmite me anymore. I'm gonna take this dragon back to my team.
That was so risky. Really thought that Belletron had that going, but VGaming... Man, Fizz is so annoying to play against, especially as a jungler, because he can just playful trickster out of there. You can't do anything after he steals that objective.
Yeah, absolutely, and you see that happening twice because that's the second time the dragon was stolen there. Fizz just waits on the edge of the wall, and then just jumps in, steals it, and just leaves. It's free real estate basically.
Done and dusted. With that said, VGaming 2 dragons now thanks to the Fizz steal. Realistically, it's almost 50k to about 45k, so about 5,000 gold lead for them. I don't see them losing this except that if they make more mistakes like what they did at Baron, which did allow Belletron to open up the map and take down more towers, which gives them more breathing room. But that that means that the next Baron now is up, and we're gonna have to see how teams push out the waves and get vision down, which is exactly what VGaming is doing here.
Absolutely. VGaming, they definitely want to have more thorough wards so that they can have a less risky Baron take. Of course, they do have control over the river, but they don't have any wards in the enemy jungle, and so they just decide to back away and leave their Gerard and Irelia to just continue their side lane pushing.
They both have teleport, so that's why they are allowed to go to the side lane and join their team later on. But I think Belletron, just looking at the way that they are moving, I think they seem more comfortable playing against this Seraphine and Nami combo because they got punished so hard in the early game, and those early dragons, they know that the two linear huge AoEs that are going to come out is very punishing. And the way that they're posturing, I think, is a lot better. It's a lot more defensive. They are aware that, hey, we shouldn't be caught out by that, or we need to rely on this Gragas really to disrupt the team fight. So they seem more poised here, but as I said that, yeah.
Oh my. Oh wait, it landed on the Ziggs! That's terrible! And oh no, the screen went black! Something's happening right now, we're probably gonna be fighting, so I'm just gonna make a wild guess at what's going on. I think Ziggs probably went down, Fizz maybe fighting the return kill as well. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, and it's me and Tania May! Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Unfortunately, the fight was so intense that the game crashed.
Yeah.
But taking stock again, we saw VGaming in the lead. It was about 5,000 gold. We knew that Baron was on the board, so both sides were trying to get advantage of that. But I think if you look at the mini map, VGaming's top lane was getting pushed in by minions. Meanwhile, on the side of the bot side, we had Garen as well as Irelia trying to dish things out, and both sides had teleports. So if we had to take a wild guess on this wild rift, probably Garen and Irelia would have teleported into the fight.
Yeah.
We know that they burnt the Gragas flash, right? So flash ultimate or flash body slam is out of the question already, and that's an engage that is lost on the side of the red team.
Yeah, and after Fizz threw the ultimate there, Ziggs went golden, so that Fizz damage did not land, but still going golden in the middle of the enemy team like that, when they can really just collapse in with the Lucian dash and everything, it becomes a question of, can you survive after you come out of the Zonya? Because if you don't have a flash, I'm not too sure if he had flash, but if Ziggs did not have flash, then I think it would have been a done deal right there.
And just in a pure 5v5, when you have Nami and Seraphine, well, that's tough. I also really appreciate the different teams from the different countries. Here we have Vietnam going up against Indonesia. They're bringing in a completely different flavor for what we saw in the last game, where we had Philippines as well as Thailand, right? And not to mention taking stock of how we saw the teams play out in Open 2, I think Open 3, they're also doing a lot better in terms of drafting, because sometimes when we looked through the drafts at Open 2, we do say like, hey, why are you picking this? Maybe this doesn't make sense. But here in Open 3, they have been very creative. We've seen different play styles. It's such a joy to watch. I mean, I of course love Nami, and I like seeing her in the meta. Together with Seraphine, the Sona 2.0, that is just a lot of heals, a lot of shields, and a lot of peels.
Exactly, it becomes super hard to take down the Lucian, because it's Lucian. Once you have the Navori quick plays, you can just dash and then dash again and dash. It really just becomes relentless pursuit. Really, like you embody the name of the skill. If you thought that just a normal dash was relentless pursuit, no, relentless pursuit happens once you have the Navori quick blades, or if you build a Serelda and you use the Kali, then it's absolutely relentless at that point. And with the Nami to speed you up, and with the Seraphine as well to speed you up and keep you healthy, then Lucian becomes very, very easy to play, and it's basically heaven for the AD carry at that point.
And I do like Seralda's Grudge, the new item that they added in one of the, what was it, 6? Was it 5 or 6 AD carry items that Riot added? I really like this one because the damaging ability actually slows affected units by 30% for 1 second. And even though you think it's 1 second, but Lucian on his ultimate procs that, and you can see it playing out in the game that we saw just now. It opens so much more item builds for these AD carries, because before patch 2.4, everyone had to build Blade of the Ruined King, whether it made sense to the AD carry or not, just because there were just weren't other options, right? But now
Agreed.
there's so many other crit paths, there's things that empower your abilities, so it's really, really nice to see. I think it's a very, very refreshing change.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so exciting right now to look at the different things that the AD carries build. Like, for example, in the previous series, Corki went for the Triforce first. In this series, Corki opted to go for the Essence Reaver as the first item instead. In fact, I believe in the previous series, I don't even recall seeing the Essence Reaver in the Corki's inventory. And now it's being as the first item. So it's really good to see the diversity in these items. Now it's no longer like a straightforward, oh, I have to buy Blade of the Ruined King first. I remember when I started playing WoW Rift, and I was like, okay, so I build Blade of the Ruined King on everything now, on like even like Zaya and
it feels weird, right? From especially if you're a PC player, then you go to WoW Rift and before patch 2.4, where you're like, wait, Blade of the Ruined King first item, does this really make sense? But unfortunately, with the limited items that they had previously, that was the case.
Yeah, absolutely, and again, really, it's really a joy to cast. Like, generally, as a player from League of Legends PC who mainly plays AD carry, it's absolute joy to cast now that I can talk about item diversity, especially in the AD carry position, where last time it really didn't exist very much. Only in PC it existed to some degree, and then of course with the newer season, item diversity was opened up a lot more, and now in WoW Rift we're kind of seeing something similar. In fact, something more unique as well with the Solari Charge Blade as well. I believe that's the name of the item. That's a completely brand new item in WoW Rift that doesn't exist in League of Legends.
Yeah, it has 30% attack speed, 25 crit rate, and 25 ability haste. So really, really sweet stats there, especially the ability haste, where you pair that with ability using AD carries. It's really just heaven for them.
Exactly, really, and that brings us back to the why is Lucian so strong? Because of all these items that we've talked about, they basically work well for Lucian. Like Lucian with Blade of the Ruined King first item, not really, but Lucian with Essence Reaver, wow! Like it's a brand new,
whole new world.
Yeah, exactly. They say, oh, Lucian is too strong, we're gonna ban it. I mean, we're gonna nerf it, but then they introduce these brand new items to make Lucian strong again. Just an update from production. We're gonna be going for a break. But when we come back, hopefully we're gonna see the action back on WoW Rift instead of a little podcast with TV and Tania. But anyways, see you guys soon. Don't go anywhere. Wow. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. So we've got a lot to go through. Okay. So, after that, Fizz ultimate landed and Fizz went and the Ziggs went golden. The match crashed. So not the match, but us, the spectators, crashed. Then, when we tried to reconnect to the game was over. So we thought, wow, what happened? You know. So it turns out that you would think that 14-1, right, would be a scoreline that, hey, you know, it looks pretty good that that the blue team would take the win, but apparently that's not the case. So Belletron, apparently they stole the Baron, and then they proceeded to take down everyone from the enemy team, and they managed to push an end within that time. That
That
wow,
is
yeah.
insane.
It was a shock. Here's the
really,
scoreboard,
yeah.
ladies and gents. Yeah.
16
Look at
to
that.
6, which means that Vietnam only got 2 more kills, and then Belletron
Yeah.
basically aced, right? And with one
Yeah.
push, and in the late game, you can definitely end the game.
Yeah.
So, props to Belletron, because
Yeah.
to be down 14 to 1, you know, like as a player, you know how it feels when you open the scoreboard and you see that difference, and you don't even know like if you can come back from this. But their mental game had to be so strong, you know, for them to pull this off.
Yes.
So a lot of credit has to be given there, that they didn't give up, and at every objective they tried, right? They tried to challenge it, they tried to take it, they tried to steal it. Even though Fizz stole a couple, but never mind. The team still got themselves together, and even though
Yeah.
we saw maybe a mismatch of skills where Gragas casted the ultimate, and then Varya here on that Aurelia completely whiffed the ultimate because Gregor scattered them away. Like, to come back from that and to come together as a team and say, hey, we still got this, I think that is really admirable.
Absolutely. You know, you can steal their dragons, but they will steal your barons, and you know, that's definitely more worth than the dragons. So if you ask me, would I take all the barons but lose all the dragons, or take all the dragons and lose all the barons? Of course, I'll take all the barons. You know. And here you go. It paid off. Belletron are now 1-0 against the VGaming ladies right now, and I'm sure they have this morale boost, this huge morale boost, and this momentum coming in from this game because, as you mentioned, you know, 14 to 1 is definitely not an easy scoreline to come back from, and you must be feeling really, really good about yourself after coming back from that one. Of
Absolutely.
course, for the VGaming ladies, you know, they also need to keep their heads held high because they can definitely take the next game as well, and we'll be going into the draft right now. Just take a look at what happens next. Of course, this means that Lucian did not win all of the games, but Ziggs did. So again, the prominence that we see on Lucian and Ziggs, you could continue to see that in this game because the Vietnam team, the VGaming ladies, that's right, that was what the word I was looking for. They banned out that Ziggs. So we won't be seeing that, but the Lucian is available as a potential first pick.
And I think Ziggs was really the story of game 1, where we saw them contesting Baron and things like that, but Ziggs, throughout those bombs, got their HP low, and even though you have a Nami Seraphine team comp, you still can't discount the burst damage and that poke damage from his bombs. So VGaming, recognizing that, already banned out Ziggs. They also took away Braum and Ranga, which means that, you know, Nami Seraphine is still a possibility, because when they take Braum out of the equation, those two supports, there's nothing to block. Realistically, you know, his unbreakable shield is the one that really disrupts them. But yeah, it means that Lucian is open, and they are again going to first pick it.
Okay. So the differences between the ban phase really is solely that the VGaming ladies did not ban out Camille, and they banned out the Ziggs. Other than that, everything remains the same. In this case here right now, Belletron, they place the emphasis on the Camille. They pick that up for themselves. They pick this Gragas again as well, which, judging by things, is probably going to be going to the role of the support again. But other than that, the picks on the VGaming ladies are exactly the same.
They still have very high single target damage if you think about Camille and Twisted Fate. It looks like VGaming is almost the same, except instead of Seraphine, we now have Ahri in the mid lane trying to wave clear against Twisted Fate. And Belletron here, if they send Camille to the jungle, they can potentially pick a top laner here, or if they want to send Gragas in the top lane, which isn't as strong anymore, but it looks like it is going to be another Gragas support. It might be a specialty pick for the princess on the side of Belletron, and Vi going to the jungle.
Yeah, they're going to be sending that Vi to jungle for the Vi Camille combo to find the potential engage right there onto the backline of Lucian and Nami. But again, we see a lot of the peel that's available on the side of VGaming ladies, and Belletron without the ability to pick up that Braum, really can't do too much against the Tidal Wave or the Fizz Shark. So gonna be interesting to see what exactly these teams do to find themselves the advantages, and we're gonna see, of course, I would like to see the VGaming ladies be more conservative when it comes to taking the Barons, because I mean they lost the previous game because the Baron got stolen twice. So I like to see them establish proper control, maybe get a couple of picks before they do the Baron, and not just do it straight away and then just like lose the game because of that.
But that's it. We are jumping into game 2. Belletron, it is game point, match point for them right here. If they manage to win game 2, they will be proceeding on to the quarterfinals, whereas VGaming, it's their chance to even it up, right? And they had such a commanding lead in game 1. They had a fantastic team composition. Clearly, they knew how to control the early to mid game. Question here is, how can they close it out? And Belletron already setting a trap, but not sure if anyone will be picked off because... Oh, Nami?
Oh, Nami
Gotta
gets
be
spotted out, but
careful.
she does not spot this invade right now. You can see that Camille is not gonna do much except place a ward on her own red. But Fizz, he doesn't realize yet that the jungle has been taken. I believe Nami just spotted that one out, but Belletron being the ones to make the first move there and take away the enemy jungle.
Because Fizz, as an AP jungler, would prioritize that blue buff, but knowing that VGaming have full information that Belletron took the red, Vi is now doing the blue, as you can see there. They also invested 3 trinket wards in the bot side of VGaming's jungle. You can see that, the triangle of the trinkets. So Fizz, knowing this, might be triple buffed, I think. Because he's realistically, I don't know if he can really go up and challenge that red. Ari would need priority here, but Twisted Fate, you can see, already autoing out the minions, not going to allow her to do that. I think Fizz just has to settle for whatever camps that he can fight, and the Scuttle would be pretty good. It's just going to trade it across the board.
Yeah, Vi is pathing up towards the mid lane right now. Still has yet to enter the top side of her jungle. And Fizz also is going to be maybe exchanging sides. Yeah, Fizz is going to cross over down towards the bottom side, but Vi still with those camps in the top side untouched.
Yeah, Fizz really cannot go to the top side. Gerard and Ari were both trying to get priority, but really cannot against that Twisted Fate. He also was trying to protect his jungler, so Fizz just has to clear out here. Probably lacking a little bit in experience. Once Vi goes back, resets it, and she's gonna get her own red buff. Fizz, level 4, trying to look for that level 5. Probably gonna see more action by then, right? Because it's been quite a quiet game compared to in game 1, where VGaming were racking up in those kills, left, right, and center. So far, no blood spilled just yet.
Yeah, again, VGaming ladies need to be extra cautious, I would say, with how they play, because it is match point for them. So you could think of it as they really have no more room for error, and there's going to be a gank in the top lane right now. Twisted Fate showing up. There's going to be 3 members here. Princess, he's going to be able to make it out of this one. Tanks up the turret. Very close, but Twisted Fate picking up that first blood there for Belletron.
That was good execution. Could have been maybe slightly cleaner where you take less tower shots, because if you think about it, that combo would have been good before. Gerard could have flashed out, but nonetheless, as you mentioned already in the draft phase, you have this Vi Camille ultimate combo where you get suppressed and then you get locked up in prison. It's tough to deal with, and it really is a good adaptation against this VGaming composition who wants to kite left.
Oh, that body slam was so close. Wow. I feel like maybe a flash invested there could have guaranteed some, at least the flash in exchange from the Ari, but Belletron again are the ones who are making this first move. The Rift Herald has spawned, and you can already see that they have postured themselves around it. Of course, VGaming ladies are standing around as well, and they're sending their AD carry and their support to the top side. Looks like the first fight might be over this Rift Herald. Koki The real question is, what are Belletron going to do? Because right now they're sending their corky towards the top side as well. They're really placing this huge emphasis on the top side. Both teams want this Rift Herald over the Dragon.
Belletron will try to wait out those ultimates because they committed the Vi Camille earlier on, and now they have it.
Yep, they're going straight in onto that Fizz right there. Assault and Battery. Fizz is forced away, and the Rift Herald is going to go down to the Ari, but the fight has begun. Fizz's health bars are so low, the VGaming ladies have to run for the hills right now. It's going to be a 2-for-2 so far, but Lewis with really not much mana. That's going to be the Flash Body Slam landing onto the Ari. That's going to be 3 kills for Belletron in exchange for 2 kills and the Rift Herald for the VGaming ladies.
Yeah, interesting that the VGaming ladies chose to contest this Herald instead of take out the dragon, right? Which is right here. Quite curious why they decided to do that, because they could have traded it like the previous game, and probably safer as well if you just trade cross map. But it looks like they're gonna contest yet again.
Yep, this time Fizz is gonna be the one getting it again. VGaming ladies stealing yet another dragon from their opponents. That's like 3 or 4 dragons I think that they've stolen over the past 2 games. So, wow, the Fizz jungle.
Yeah, and not to mention, Ari was the one who got the Herald, even though VGaming lost in terms of kills the last fight and around Herald, but Ari managed to secure the Herald, not any of the junglers, by the way.
Yeah. Herald is gonna crash in. The fish will not hit. So VGaming ladies are going to back away. They have opened up the map though, and I'm pretty satisfied with that.
You can feel the tension in this game too.
Yeah.
Can Camille hook shot out of here? I think she can.
Yes. Yeah. But again, it is match point for the VGaming ladies, and mentioned the tension, right? You can see the gold right now is about 100 between the two of them. Just the fate taking a lot of damage, but here comes that Gragas again for the body slam. That's gonna be an explosive cast for that Lucian, and the assault and battery for the Nami. That's gonna be 2 more kills going over to Belletron. They're gonna take down this bottom lane turret.
Mistakes were made. VGaming ladies, their jungler is on the top side of the map, and here you have Lucian and Nami just getting dive. I think they could have been a lot more conservative there. Didn't really need to push out. You saw Lucian use Relentless Pursuit, and he went forward, right, beyond the tower range, and that was where Belletron recognized that they could jump on him. So VGaming trying to minimize mistakes here, because mistakes is what costed them in game 1. And Belletron, you can feel that they have the tempo. You can feel that they are very happy with their game 1 win, and you can feel that their confidence here is rising.
Absolutely. Belletron starting to build a lead for themselves right now. Mostly in the hands of that Twisted Fate there, who has 1,500 gold up on the Ari right now. Doing a lot of work really with the Destinies. I believe they used about 3 of them, and all of them have resulted in multiple kills for Belletron.
The cross map play was so beautiful. Twisted Fate was the one who secured the very first kill onto Gerard. But as we move into mid game, where towers are down, you can see a lot of trading on the top side.
On the top side, yep, things looking pretty scary there for Gerard. Forced the flash over the wall, but in the bot side, Belletron with 3 members right now trying to stop this push. They have a decent amount of whiff here between Twisted Fate and Corky and even Gragas. So I'm interested to see how VGaming ladies attempt it, because they don't really have any ability to dive. They are so low. They're gonna lose another turret there in the top lane.
It feels like Belletron are in a bit more control this game, and they are in a goal lead, which is a first compared to game 1 where they were trailing all the way. So it's going to be on them to see how they use this goal lead to their advantage. That said, they also have an item lead, as you mentioned. Twisted Fate in a wonderful position, Rod of Ages as well as Lich Bane going to be dishing out a lot of damage here, compared to the counterparts where VGaming don't even have that 2 item power spike. Everyone is about 1.5. So for VGaming, they can play a bit more defensive. They can just farm up these waves and push them out. They can also even choose to give up the next dragon, because it's also just an ocean. It's not Elder just yet. So if they want to catch up with Belletron's goal lead and hit that 2 item power spike and then choose to fight, I think that could be a good plan.
Yeah, that's right. I absolutely agree. You can see that the two items are starting to come across right now. Lucian is nearly there. Ari just got the Morello. But in the side lane right now, there's one thing that's for sure is that this Camille is gonna be doing a lot of damage to this Garrett. I believe it's sitting on quite a lot of gold actually, because only has one item at the moment, but does have the teleport, something which Garen does not have just yet. So Garen is forced to run down to the team for that dragon. Look at the Camille's stats.
But the thing is, VGaming knew this in the draft. They banned Ziggs instead of Camille. And so this is basically the sacrifice that they have to make. They know that the true damage comes in, she's gonna be carried all the time.
Yep. Ooh, whoa, whoa! Everyone's getting knocked around all over the place right there. That's gonna be Nami going down Lucian with just that little bit of health there. Barely staying alive, and Belletron once again with yet another pick. This is like a complete reversal of game 1.
But if it is a complete reversal, then we can never count out VGaming ladies either,
Yeah.
right? Because
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that, hey look, the Fizz is still there. Who's to say that he's not gonna jump in and smite it like that? Just like that! That's another dragon! How many more dragons can he give up? My goodness, Fizz is gonna be going down again, but Belletron, you need to work on this, my friends. Oh, Ari is gonna stay alive thanks to the honeycomb. They're not gonna die to that Camille's ignite, but that's gonna be yet another dragon that's lost. And things now looking not too bad for the VGaming ladies either. They have 2 dragons to their name, and honestly, even if you're Belletron and you make it through this round, you really need to fix these kind of problems, because when it's 1 dragon stolen, it's okay. When it's 2, okay. When it's 3, then you start to think. But when it comes to like 4 and 5, right? Even the Rift
it
Herald
could
as well,
cost
then
them
you
the game. Yeah.
yeah, it could. Really, a single objective can really cost them the game, and luckily for now, it has not happened. But it could very well happen if it's if it's a true reversal of the previous game. Then it will happen. But we'll have to see.
We saw a ward there as well.
Another engage happening right now. It might be a little too far forward though. It almost feels like as if Belletron are starting to falter here and there. It's going to be Camille getting knocked out by that fish there. Forced to flash away, and the culling is not going to cull her just yet. But VGaming ladies right now, they kind of are trying to push Belletron out of the driver's seat. It's not very easy to do so, but they're starting to take objectives for themselves. So it's a good look right now for the VGaming ladies.
The thing about that dragon, the ocean dragon that they lost, Belletron actually had the ward over the wall. I was looking at the mini-map and they saw it, but it's so hard to stop a Fizz, and maybe they just didn't have the ultimates up at that time, maybe they already expended it, because you always want to take down the jungler before you commit to a 50-50, and it's in this 50-50 you have to give so much credit to VGaming's jungler. I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce her name, but she really deserves so much credit for these clutch steals. It's not just once, it's not just twice, it's been happening since game 1.
Yeah, exactly.
It's insane.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. Belletron had no ultimates because before that they got a pick on Nami and Lucian when they used the Gragas ultimate, which is really critical for knocking the Fizz away from the dragon if you can time it properly. And the Vi ultimate as well, the Assault and Battery, was used, so there was practically nothing to stop the Fizz from stealing anything. And now it really looks like VGaming are starting to have the tempo. They're starting to gain control over the map. Look at the wards right there in the top side jungle. Those 2 trinket wards there. That's pretty deep in. And you would think that VGaming would be unable to find that, but they somehow have been able to do so. Although this might be a little too far forward, there's going to be Nami going down in mid lane.
Not sure what Naomi was doing so far up there. The wave was already being thinned out. She wasn't with that pushing minion wave. And now Ari might get picked off too, but just gotta use the ultimate to get out of it, as well as Flash.
Use Flash, yeah, exactly. Very, very conservative usage of summoner spells right there. Oh, that's gonna be Destiny popped. Let's see, where is Twisted Fate going to end up? Or is it just going to be a scout? It's just gonna go over to the mid lane and stop those minions. The Infernal Dragon is gonna be up in 30 seconds. The Baron is up right now. Belletron have about 3,000 gold in the lead, but really, most of it, in fact, I believe all 3,000 of the lead is actually on the Twisted Fate. If you look
And
at
she's
that
been
right
doing
there.
so much work. She's been
Yeah.
clearing out these minion waves. The reason why VGaming is can't really do much. At most they can push out a wave. At most we saw them lay down some vision. But the reason why they can't get any catches is really because of this Twisted Fate. Clearing out those mini waves, she's either in mid or she's here at bot, and she's really disallowing VGaming from pushing forward, from getting more objectives, from getting more space on the map. And not to mention Twisted Fate Ultimate, of course, helping out, getting out that vision, making VGaming on pushing them on their toes really, because they can't do anything if the wave clear is there. It's tough, and they have to fight at these dragons, which I think they can, and they can rely on their jungler to secure maybe the next one.
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe we
Not
don't know
sure.
yet, but
Maybe.
her smiting skills are amazing.
Oh, the fifth fish there was used, as well as the redemption, just to
vision,
scout
yeah.
out the dragon. Yeah, that's gonna be not too long of a cooldown, but still something that's down if Belletron want to take this right now. But I feel like they are pretty afraid of it. And just as I say, the Vi starts it up, although I don't know if they're gonna commit for this. The blast cone is up once again, and I feel like that's really allowing the Fizz to jump in on that tidal wave down. That's another cooldown. Use that explosive counter to knock them aside by going in for the assault battery. This might be a little far forward, but Corki with the Valkyrie to try to follow up on this one. Meanwhile, the Gerard is in the back line right now, and things are so split up. That's gonna be Belletron able to take that Gerard down. Meanwhile, the Guardian Angel from Vi is gonna be popped. She's gonna be able to use the bomb breaker to get out of this one. And Belletron, with their blinking health bars, are able to walk out of this one with a single kill.
VKV were really trying to bait them in, right? Because you know that Vi has ultimate and she's gonna dive in. The best case scenario there was for them to take down Vi and then have Garen tank up enough so that they can re-engage. But unfortunately, I mean, Nami's ult was used really early, so they didn't really have that re-engage tools. And in the end, Garen is the one who falls, and the very least they could do was take away that Guardian Angel on Vi. And this could be a repeat, and well, maybe, I don't know. Fizz is already going back, so
Oh, the go card with the rapid fire cannon right there. Just deleting that Nami, and at this point, Belletron with those two picks look pretty confident. They should be able to get this Elder Dragon, this Infernal Dragon. Of course, guys, please break that blast code. That's what's been allowing the Fizz. Yes, there you go, Dragon. That's what's been allowing the Fizz to blast code in and then Playful Trickster out. But now, if he wants to go in, he needs to Playful Trickster out. But Belletron are not even going to give that a chance. They're going to use their Camille and Gragas to zone this Fizz as far away from the dragon as possible. Not going to let him go anywhere close.
VGaming, a bit unfortunate. Keep getting picked off with this mid laner, not really respecting the engage range of this Gragas coming in, as well as Vi and Camille. So recognizing that, I mean, looking at game one, can we really count them out? Probably not. They're still down in gold by about 6,000, but Baron is still on the board, and they can still win if they manage to secure Baron as well as ace Belletron. That's what we saw in game one. Well, we didn't see it, but we can imagine that it happened.
Yes, we can close our eyes and imagine
Yes, it's
the scenario that happened, in our own heads.
yes.
You will
It's
never
as
know
good as the
exactly
real
what
thing.
happened, but you can guess. You can make an educated guess. Unfortunately, our predictions didn't really turn out true, I guess, for what happened during the team fight. But hey, we'll never know what actually happened. So
It's not over till it's over, right? That's really
Exactly.
the story of this series. So once again, both teams reset. Baron is on the board.
Yeah.
Gragas here at TF. VGaming have to watch out. They don't want to get picked off again here in the mid lane because they need the numbers in order to challenge this. And ooh, Charm's
it's
gonna
on a
land, but
tanky,
yeah.
tanky Gragas. With the force of nature, with a lot of magic resist, there's no way that would happen. I want to say, yeah, definitely, VTM ladies still have a chance at it because they have like a really good smiter there on that Fizz. So I would put it at a pretty decent chance that if she's not zoned out, she'll be able to steal that Baron. So I think that's probably why Belletron are also playing this very safe right now. They're not going to go for the Baron. They're going to try to push down these turrets because they do have the Twisted Fate with the Rapid Fire Cannon, but he is going to take that shot, going to go golden. Is he going to get charmed up? No, but the Garen is going to be running in the Demacian Justice Wave. He used it a little early. The Tidal Wave does connect on quite a bit. Twisted Fate goes down. Camille is not in this fight for Belletron right now, and that's going to be one kill back for them onto the Garen. It's going to be a 1-for-1, but Twisted Fate, the man or the woman with the most gold here, 17,000, looking pretty dicey right now for Belletron because they have lost their main carry at this point in time. Of course, not to discount the fact that Corki has a lot of damage as well, but Twisted Fate has been the one really to set up the kills and the picks with those gold cards.
It was still a very good engage from VGaming. They recognized that Twisted Fate there, stepped a bit forward, and it's very nice to see when Nami's ultimate is used at the right time, because even last series as well as this series, when you see Nami use her ultimate, at some random time and it hits nothing, that's not very effective. You need to know precisely when to use it for disengage and when to use it for engage, and she followed up with that tidal wave to secure the kill on that Twisted Fate to shut him down. That was worth it. It gives VGaming a little bit more gold, but again, nothing quite happening. 30 seconds to the Elder Dragon.
Yeah, that's right. Another avenue for action that either team could use. We see once again that Belletron are continuing to push their vision into the jungle. The VGaming ladies right now are kind of unable to walk into the river thanks to this nice line of vision that Belletron have put out there. That ward you see. If VGaming walks up, especially the Fizz, they will definitely know about it.
It's harder for VGaming to really engage, because if you look at team composition, they're much better at picking someone off with charm or disengaging. So it's really on them to play out this team composition. Whereas for Belletron, they have the tools to just go in. They have the ultimates, they have the hard CC. So in terms of execution, you kind of need to give it to them. The VGaming can't calm them out. They seem to be more comfortable playing these types of enchanter supports as well. But they have no response to Camille, so they have to do something there on the bot side of the map.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't have anyone who can go up against Camille. Yeah, they're not
recall, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, Corki picked up the package right now. Camille, however, has just done so much damage to that tower. It's only got about 600 health, I think. So one more push on perhaps even minions. Not even 600, 300. So maybe about 4 hits from cannon minions should be enough to deal with it. So they need to keep their eyes on that wave, because in Wild Rift these towers don't respawn, and the moment they go down you start getting super minions, and that becomes a real problem for getting priority in the top side, which means that your Baron it would be so much harder to get to the Baron as well should they lose that. So they are forced to send their Garen up, and Belletron can move back down. Again, Camille here does have the teleport, and so does the Garen. Culling is...
You have to be aware of Fizz though.
Yeah, they
Fizz
do,
is
and there
coming in,
is...
could get a steal.
Oh, they're just gonna peel off and engage right now to use the assault and battery, and wow! That go kart from downtown there, but Lucian with the Guardian Angel is gonna be able to stay alive. The second Guardian Angel is gonna go down. This time it's on Vibe. Ari though does not have the Guardian Angel, has the stopwatch, but it may not be enough. It's gonna go down to that Corki, who is now godlike, just a Fate, picking up her Guardian Angel for herself as well. Now has it used that value right there, ladies and gentlemen. Belletron pick up a kill, they pick up a turret as well. They're gonna move back towards that dragon. Their health bars though don't look too good, so they're just gonna back off.
Yeah, it's like a toss and turn here, a push and pull for both teams. They know that each side wants to get the dragon, but they're kind of worried if they get aced, they're gonna lose the game. So very conservative here. VGaming ladies did their best to peel away, but unfortunately I think it was Ari and one other member who got isolated in the mid laner. So the moment that they are split up, Belletron recognized that that was their opportunity to jump at them.
more. And speaking of split up, this Garen is split up from the rest of her team. She's gonna be going down as well. That's gonna be a 50-second death timer right there for the Garen. So this is a chance for Belletron to do something. They do have already got a full build on Twisted Fate and on Corki as well. So they're not really gonna scale up anymore. Over on the side of VGaming though, they do still, I believe, have some space for items on the Ari and the Fizz. And they are going to be the ones actually to start up this dragon. They have a Camille pushing up in their top lane though, and there's still no Gerard for another 20 seconds. They cannot ignore this. The Gragas is going to get caught out by the charm, going to be dropped pretty low as well. But look at that right there. That's going to be Nami, that's going to be Lucian going down, and that's going to be the Fizz. And just like that, Camille's like, hey guys, where's everyone? Oh, I guess this is a free Nexus for me. That's going to be Belletron going into the quarterfinals. Congratulations to them. They pick up the 2-0 against VGaming ladies.
Incredible performance from Belletron. Winning that game 1 was so crucial for them. Being down 14
Absolutely.
kills to 1, coming back, and then here in game 2, they didn't lose their composure, right? Because both teams still had a chance. Fizz was stealing objectives left, right, and center, but Belletron, they came back here with a different team composition. I thought the way that they adapted was really good. Instead, they put in Vi, they put in Camille for that backline engage, and it paid off so well. See the scoreboard right here.
Yeah.
It was really, at the end of the day, in the late game, that Corki, right? The Twisted Fate, sure, tons of damage, lots of items, but Corki was the one with that triple kill. Was it triple? Triple kill at the end of the game, just to secure they didn't even need they didn't even need the dragon. It was really just to keep them occupied and for Camille to end the game. And look here, Corki already out damaging that Twisted Fate.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, though, I do want to comment these small little things, you know, that happen, like a Twisted Fate, but purchasing the Guardian Angel, you know, that was really critical there because it allowed her to walk forward and land the gold card and not pay for it with her life, because that Guardian Angel kept her alive. It allowed them to really transition into the Elder Dragon after that as well. I think that was really smart little itemization choices that these players make, you know, that they don't just blindly follow like a build, you know, they don't just type like in Google like best Twisted Fate build Wild Rift 2.4 and then just follow it like word for word. These players know how to adapt, and that is really really good to see, you know. I'm really excited to watch them in the next games.
Belletron didn't just adapt though, they had so much mental fortitude coming back from game 1, and then coming here in game 2, sure, looked a bit shaky at times, but they did have an easier team composition to execute. Even though Vi may have jumped in a little bit more, but the moment you get by that Guardian Angel, this Guardian Angel purchase on multiple members at different points in the game, especially in the late game, really paid off for them.
Yep, absolutely right. We're gonna be going for we're gonna be looking at the bracket now actually, real soon, where we're gonna see, because we are done right now with the round of 16, so we're moving on to the there's still one team that's still playing right now, but for over on our side right here, we're gonna have Space Gamer Calyx going up against Gurren, I believe, for our next game. Yes, and over on the upper side of that bracket, we've got Lorem Ipsum as well, going up against OK, and then down in the lower bracket, one more team going up against VEC Fantasy, and Next Play Tempest going up against Belletron IC in the last series. So very exciting stuff here. We're going to be going for a short break, and when we come back, it's going to be a quarterfinals match. Stay tuned for that one. See you guys soon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the FSL Wild Rift Open 3. We're here for our third series of the day, our third and final series actually, which is a quarterfinals game between Space Gamer Calyx going up against Gurren.
Space Gamer Kelly X, if you think that sounds familiar, indeed they were third in Open 1 and Open 2, and Gerard and I casted them as well.
Mhm.
So they are definitely coming in as a very strong team. The question really is, can they make it past this round and can they break away from that third place curse? Because they did finish first in their group. They went 5-1. So that's a very commanding scoreline compared to Guren, who maybe you could say is the underdogs coming in here from Philippines. They were formerly Empress Phoenix and they did take part in Open 2 actually. It's just that they finished 3-1 in their groups, which was pretty good, and they tied up one series. So they have quite a tall order here going up against Space Gamer Kelly X from Thailand.
Yeah, that's right, and Space Gamer Calyx as well. In their group, they went 2-0 against Belletron IC, the team that we saw win the previous series. So they were able to win against that. So things looking pretty good for them. We do see that Lucian first pick again, a trend that we've started to see today after the second series. Looks like Space Gamer really placed the emphasis on that one as well.
It seems like teams are not willing to ban him out. What is banned, however, is Ziggs as well as Galio and Javan from the side of Space Gamer Kelly X. Now, if they pick this Lucian and with an Enchanter support and an Olaf, they are going to need Engage because as we saw in the last series, what really bit VGaming ladies in the behind was that they did not get any hard Engage. And Guren here, it looks like a repeat, right? We see that Corky, we see Camille, and it's really good engage on the side. It's very good peel for the Corky from using Brom, and now they have double engage. So you have Wukong as well as Camille.
Whoa!
And Space Gamer gonna respond, wow, with that singed.
Okay. Wow, I did not expect that.
Did not expect that at all.
Whoa, okay, this is also something I didn't expect. Katarina? Wow. Okay.
Wow.
That is some new picks right here, you know.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's that's definitely very interesting. You can see that this is the first Lulu or an Oriana as well that we've seen. These are mostly new picks here inside of Space Gamer, at least for what we've seen for today. Over the side of Guren as well, things looking a little more traditional, but how can I say it's traditional when they have a Katarina, am I right?
The thing is, for Gerard, if you look at their wombo combo, picking Katarina here is not a bad idea. You have Wukong, you have Camille, and you have Brom as well for the additional slows and his knockup for the ultimate. It's really gonna be on Katarina to go in on those low HP bars, which you expect Corky would have already lowered by the time the fight starts. So you expect her to go in there and clean house. Whereas on the side of KLX, we talked about that they need engage, right? They do need engage because it's a Lucian, Lulu, and you also showed that it's an Olaf. So you have a ball carrier and you're gonna rely a lot on that Oriana ultimate. And then you have Singe, who wow, it just came out of left field.
Yeah.
Who knows what Andy will do here? A lot of potential for Singe to disrupt the fight, disrupt the Camille, disrupt Katarina. So I think it's gonna be a really exciting game when the team
Yeah.
fight starts.
Also, don't forget that there's a Lulu present who can speed up the Olaf, can speed up the Singed as well, and can even polymorph the Katarina, or even her shields can stop the Katarina from taking out someone who's low, and if she can stop Katarina from getting one reset, they can shut her down very easily. So I'm going to be looking at this Lulu and how she makes use of her shields and her ultimates. Yeah. Also, there's a lane
And
swap happening right
already,
now.
yeah, lane swap because want to shut down this Singe as early as possible. Guren is the one who initiated that.
Yeah, they don't want to let this Singed get away with any of that nonsense that Singed does, you know? So they're
Don't
gonna
want
be...
him to proxy the wave and then starve
Yeah.
out their opposing barrel later. So Instead, they're gonna be happy with the lane swap. Meanwhile, Camille there
Oh.
at the bottom, probably faring a little bit better than the Singe.
Actually,
Looks like she did manage to get some CS off and is hovering around experience range, which is the most important thing.
yeah, but look at where this
Lulu?
Lulu is. Lulu has decided that she's gonna move up to the top lane and support this Singe instead. Besides, hey, Lucian's probably fine in that 1v1. There's no kill threat from the Camille, so can just come up here and help to guarantee that at the very least Andy is able to pick up that wave. Because right now on the bot side, I believe Camille was forced to flash away from the Olaf. Really not having a good time right there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see whether this lane swap works out for Gren, because since she's level 3, I think in terms of experience, everyone is still pretty happy. Of course, Lulu had to sacrifice a little bit. She is level 2 compared to Bob's level 3.
Yeah.
But Lulu seems like she's just gonna stay.
Yeah, it seems like Corki actually is in trouble because Corki has no mana. They're forced to pop both subs just from that one flip. And yeah, Singe is doing definitely a lot better now thanks to the presence of this Lulu. If you look at the gold, Singe has about 300 more, but it's probably about one extra wave compared to the Camille, who at this point is losing even more minions to the tower as we speak.
Yeah, Camille is getting absolutely no support, which also means that Lucian is free farming. That's why at the end of the day, we're gonna have to see whether this lane swap really works out for the side of Gerard, because Space Gamer Kelly X showing a little bit of adaptation here, deciding that Lulu will be paired with Singe instead, and giving that Lucian that free farm because he is a very mobile AD carry. He can take care of himself, as we see right here.
Also, if you look at the pathing of the junglers, Space Gamer and Gerard have basically cut the jungle in two. They're doing vertical jungling right now, which means that Olaf is consistently in the bot side and Wukong is consistently in the top side. And I think that's working out better for the Lucian because the Olaf has been able to do some real work there in terms of helping to zone the Camille and stop her from farming. But now things have kind of swapped back. We see that Corki is back in the bottom lane again, and Lulu has made the recall and is likely to pass down as well.
You know, seems like they recognize that Gerard it's not really working out for them. They can't really stop this Singe, especially if Space Gamer Kelly X invested Lulu on the top side, and Lucian might just be riding away with the game with all that gold and farm.
Yeah.
So Gerard recognizing that, also adapting, you know, they're all reading the game really well, and that's it. The first dragon is alive, so we might get our first team fight right here because everyone already has their ultimates at level 5 to level 7.
Yep, as Corki says, ready to fire! So he's got the package and it's coming down. Is that a good Corki impression? I don't know. I hope so. You know.
Maybe
Yeah,
the package
maybe.
will be used aggressively here. Really interested to see how Katarina fits into this whole team comp, because in theory, as we mentioned, it is possible for her to clean up those low health bars. But Gerard already making the first moves, setting that vision down, but they don't have any wards over the pit.
Yeah, that's true, but they do
Oh,
spot
and
out
the
those...
blast cone.
Yep. The Camille as well is in the top side, the blast cone over the wall, and now Kelly-X are the ones who are in the pit with the extra man to put their Lulu ultimate as well. Katarina gonna start spinning it away. What is happening? There's gonna be the Cloud Dragon going down, but the bars on Kelly-X are low. But the bar of the Katarina is even lower because she's dead. And there's no way that she can clean up that one there. Kelly-X are gonna pick up the dragon and they're gonna pick up the teamfight win as well.
Oh, that was tough to watch. Gerard, we recognized that the blast cone was still up. We saw this in our previous match, you know, the deadly blast cone.
Yeah,
You have to ward over the wall because they had no vision whatsoever, and some of their wards were already taken out, you know, in the tri-bush and things like that. So I feel like they didn't need to start the dragon so early. They could have sussed out, you know, where is Space Gamer Kelly X, who's gonna use their ultimates first, who's gonna initiate, and then decide from there. Because for Gerard, if they don't have a clean engage, that's where Space Gamer Kelly X can really thrive with this team composition.
Yep, absolutely. Space Gamer Kelly-X starting to build up a lead for themselves. And of course, don't forget that Gurren was also one member down. They had their Camille on the top lane who stayed there, while the Singe decided to walk down and help out in those team fights. Oh, things looking pretty sketchy there for Gurren. Once again, Hazel dropping very low. Can the Singe find enough damage? The answer is no, but still disrupting the other two, forcing the flash as well. Mina gonna get flipped, and that's 3 flashes blown. The Kali coming out. Can it seal anybody's fate? Relentless pursuit. No, it's gonna be a flash over the wall there from Elysian, who picks up that 1 kill on the Camille.
It means 5 kills on the board for Space Gamer Kelly
Yeah.
X. It is gonna be on them to run away with this game, run away with the Singed, I guess. A
Yes.
lot of running happening there. So that's it. They do have that goal lead. They have Lucian here.
Oh,
Essence Reaver
God.
completed.
yeah, Katarina able to make it out there, but really being quite confident to stand in the lane while you know that there are 3 people standing around. Just able to walk away with a sliver of health there.
The Gren is on the defensive now. They did not set up that dragon properly, which means that they lost tempo, and Space Gamer Kelly recognizing that they have some turrets that they do want to take down, and they're all just grouping around this Lucian because he's the one with the Essence Reaver. Oriana has been really good with those ultimates, but as I said, you know, she needs to scale. She has the tier. Leandri's also completed.
Oh, there we go. Lucian has the charge blade as well. That's the 2 items spike that we're talking about. Lucian is a very, very comfortable 2000 gold in front of the Corki right now. So just really in terms of damage and power, definitely it's in the hands of Lucian.
Then the next turret to go down that they want is really this mid and top. But mid is harder because you have 2 wave clear champions facing each other. Oriana and Corki, I think they're just happy to stick here. They're not going to move around because if they do, they're going to lose their priority. So maybe more action will be happening here at the top side of the map as Space Gamer Kelly X already grouping up. They have 3 people. The Camille has to back off unless backup is coming.
Rob
Rob?
is coming up as well. This is the opposite of backup. That's gonna engage right there. The Cyclone coming in as well. Listen, dropping very low, but the Can the Lucian survive? The answer is no. That's gonna be a 2-man shockwave though, but there's not enough damage to finish anybody off. Space Gamer Calyx maybe being a little too overconfident there, a little too greedy on that tower, trying to finish it. They lose their Lucian, but they're gonna say, we're not gonna let this stop us. They're gonna make a beeline for the mid lane instead.
Yeah, means mid lane is open. I think they can get it because Katarina can't really wave clear right here. And it's a trade. But I have to say, for the side of Gerard, what's really helping them is this Braum. Like, Dora has been really good with these Braum shields that blocked out a lot of damage. So it protects the team. They have been able to walk out of that top lane safely and not give over any more kills. But the game state is swinging here once again because the next dragon is alive. It is an Inferno. At Gerard, we want to see them set up for it properly, right? We don't want to see them just jump into it and then surprise from the blast code, suddenly Space Gamer Kelly X appears. So both teams, no one is really engaging just yet, but they are posturing.
Yeah, I want to talk a bit about the items here as we look at, okay, never mind, maybe not able to do that right now. Lucian doing a lot of hope to this Corki. Oh wow, that double crit right there. Absolutely brutal. Andy is going in, pops the Righteous Glory. Look at Space Gamer. I wanted to point out that they have 2 Righteous Glories there on the Olaf and on the Singed. So they can really, really not run away, but run towards the Gurren, charging on full force. Of course, the Righteous Glories are now down, and Andy is trying his best to do disruption. This is going to be a very nice cyclone there, but it's going to be a full tank Wukong. Does not get the dragon either. The team fight has begun, though the health bars of Gurren are very low. Wukong is able to survive with a sliver of health. I believe Corki very low as well. Oh, the flip! They're stopping the reset. Corki trying to keep the distance, staying alive, and now it's just gambling and Andy right now, trying to get their way out of the pit. They're gonna be alright. Space Gamer Calyx pick up the dragon, but they did not have the Lucian in that side, I believe. So they lost a couple members.
Still not too bad. They do secure the dragon. It was quite a good on the side of Gerard. I think they didn't lose as much as they could have. And I think they've made a very good decision not to chase the Singe. We saw Singe just hover around the river, with that poison on. And Gerard, even though they had 3v2, but don't change the Singe.
Yep, absolutely right. Do not chase the Singe, my friends. Another thing about the items, Wukong here opted to go for a Sunfire Cape first item. It's something that you usually don't see all that much, going for the full tank, not going for a Guardian Angel or a Yogo or a Sterak or anything like that. The fight has begun once again, though that's gonna be the Shockwave onto 2, taking them out. Space Gamer Calyx are just really charging forward right now with this comp. They've got the Singe and the Olaf with the ball carriers. They've got that Shockwave and they've got the Lulu as well to beat them all up.
And you have Singe zoning out the Katarina. Yeah. Oh no, she got grounded.
You might do more than zoning, honestly, at this rate. Taking her down to about half health. Luckily, yeah, she can Shanpo away, but this Singe pick, I went and checked out the stats from yesterday and from the day before, and Space Gamer did not play Singed in any of their games so far. So this is perhaps a pick that they have decided to, now it's a good time to pull it out now. Perhaps they have thought about that.
Yeah, I love that compared to Open 2, Open 3, we are seeing a lot more, what's the word for it? The teams are daring to pick these diverse picks or these picks that are not really meta. Because you don't really see Singe right now.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, now that is a meta pick right there.
Yeah, that's a meta pick for sure. But you kind of... Yeah, it's Space Gamer Calyx mixing up their meta picks together with this Singe. It really says to me that if you don't pull it out until the playoffs, it means that they were hiding it, and also it's so hard for a team that if you never scrim and you never really play against a team that pulls out things like Singe, sometimes it can make you a bit more uncomfortable, right? You don't really know how to play against the Singe, how do you position in team fights, your execution becomes very different.
Yeah, absolutely, because Singe is just one of those champions that is really very unconventional and very different from the standard thing that you see. So it really shakes up the way you play. And if you don't know how to play against it, it's hard. Gerard right now lost 2 of their turrets in that previous push as well.
So it feels like one more Barret could seal this deal, because with that Barret, Space Gamer got so much out of it, 2 inhibitors. And I really do like the team comp that they put together here. You said that there were 2 Righteous Glories, including that speed up from Lulu. They are really here to disrupt the fight. If you think about it, they don't really have hard engage except for that Orianna ultimate. But if you have Olaf running around, you have Singe running around, it's so hard to play against, even though Gurren has hard CC. But when they're split up, it's really hard to fight. And right here, Space Gamer 3 and top and 2 below, there's nothing that Gurren can do.
Yeah, Hazel walking a little forward there, using the decoy, but here's the Righteous Glory Olaf, the flashes, everything. They don't care that he's a full tank, they're just gonna take Hazel out like that. Brom gonna get shot-whipped as well. This is the response on the side of Gurren. What can they do? Katarina was interrupted, there's a lot of damage being landed onto the Orianna, but just not enough, because in the backline there, we've got a Lulu to keep her healthy. Elysian has decided to walk up all the way, gonna be on that relentless pursuit there, running straight down, gonna actually use the relentless pursuit skill soon enough, doesn't even need it. It's gonna be one more auto attack, and Space Gamer Calyx are gonna pick up the first win in this series up against Gurren.
Congratulations to Space Gamer, showing us a brand new team composition, throwing in that Singe, as well as the Olaf paired with Lulu. And we saw in that very last fight at top, even though Camille tried to jump the backline, this Singe on the Rylai's, he basically was zoning out 3 people, and he can't die. Right? Just because Singe has the ultimate, and Lulu as well, ulting the Singe. So Lulu is actually not there to support Lucian, by the way. It's really the Singe show. And the MVP, right? So Andy here earning the MVP, 508, didn't even die once. And Lulu going up there in the early game to help her out. preventing that lane swap from happening. In the end, it bit Guren back.
Yeah, absolutely agree. The lane swap there allowed the Lulu to go and support the Singe, and at that point, right, it was like Olaf was supporting Lucian in the bot lane, and
Yeah,
Lulu was
yeah.
supporting Singe in the top lane. That's really how it went, for the rest of the game.
And it didn't
And
change, right? They didn't
yeah,
change this tactic
exactly,
throughout the game.
exactly, and it really
So,
worked out.
and Lucian there, in fact, didn't even go for Serranos or Novoris. Actually, third item was Infinity Age because
Yeah,
was just too far ahead and did the most damage. Elizen right there, 6-1 and
hmm
2, a very good spot. So despite the lane swap, as I said, she farmed up. It was free farm against that
yeah,
Camille, and it didn't seem like it worked out for Garen, even though the theory was there. They wanted to
yeah.
shut down Singe early, but they just didn't manage to.
They ended up shutting themselves down, honestly, because they forget that Lucian is good in a solo lane as well. So
Mm-hmm.
because of that, it allowed the Lulu to really just leave the Lucian alone. And Lucian versus Camille in a 1v1, it definitely goes the way of the Lucian because of the fact that he's ranged, he has a dash, and Camille generally was just, outranged and everything. So Guren, yeah, they need to figure out a different way to handle this Singe pick right now. They could ban it, of course, or they could think of something to try to counter that, because I mean it is match point right now for them, so it's really all or nothing right now. If they don't win this one, then that means that Space Gamer is just gonna move forward to semifinals, and if they do manage to come back, then we will have ourselves a game 3. But we're gonna go for a break now, and when we come back it will be game 2. Stay, because you don't want to miss it. Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to the FSL Wild Rift Open 3. We're here for the second game of the quarterfinals. It is Space Gamer Caliax, who are one game up above Guren, who are at match point right now. Of course, we want to go through the bans really quickly here. Guren banned out Kaiser, Ziggs, and Brom, and Caliax are now on the red side have opted to ban out Lucian, Javan, as well as Galio.
So Kelly X switching sides recognize they don't want to deal with the Lucian, but in return, they are still relying on that Lulu. And we also can see that Guren didn't bother to ban out the Singe because it is a risk, right? It was a very pocket pick. So if they don't do that, here they have the Olaf Seraphine combo. I like what the two teams have been doing here with Olaf because when you draft a jungler like Olaf, you need that support. You need the speeds up and the heals and the shields and everything to empower him. So that's what Guren here is doing to match the Lulu now. So they do have a response to what Space Gamer Caliax was doing in game one. Now that's it. That's it. Guren did not ban out the Singe. So
Yeah.
Space Gamer again with that Lulu Singe combo coming in here. The question is, how is Guren going to deal with that? And we saw Seraphine and Nami in the earlier match, and now we're going to see Seraphine and Sona.
It's not just Seraphine and Sona, but it's Seraphine and Sona in the same lane. So the same champion in the two of the same champions in the same lane.
Sona and Sona 2.0
Yeah,
together.
yeah, exactly. Now that's also something interesting. It's I guess I could see how that might stop Singed later because I mean Sona can speed up the entirety of her team, so can Seraphine, and Sona can slow down that Singe as well. But that's a very interesting adaptation. Of course, also it's the first time we see Diana as well as a pick, and Vayne as well in the bottom lane there, accompanied by that Lulu Vayne, something that we don't see too often. But look at that Sentinel Vayne skin, I'm excited.
And Diana, as you pointed out, not that much seen right now. But the thing is that Riot didn't do anything to her. So it's quite curious as we transit from 2.3 to 2.4, where champions like Diana, like Gerard, we saw them very much in the last patch, and somehow they just fallen out of flavor in this 2.4 because maybe other champions are more popular. People see the need to draft like 380 carries. But she's so strong, and I don't think we should be underestimating any of these picks. So Diana's still relevant in the current meta. Akali here being picked up, another strong champion. It's gonna be a lot of mechanics coming out from both teams, as we see assassins and all these burst champions. And
Yeah.
I guess also on the side of Space Gamer Kelly X, a lot of micro since Vayne was also picked up.
Yeah, absolutely right. Well, it is match point right now for Guren. They are one game down, so maybe Space Gamer is like, okay, now we're gonna pull out another pick. We're gonna pull out this Vayne, and we're gonna just finish off Guren with it. Who knows? Anyway, again, and Guren really need to play their very best, and I guess they have chosen to pick up this Seraphine and Sona bottom lane right now. So really, what's the difference between these champions? I can't tell.
One is better than the other, ever so slightly.
Oh boy, yeah.
So the question will be whether not having an AD carry will hurt Guren later on. Because for now, Vayne does need to scale up. She's not going to do that much here in lane. It's not like they have kill pressure. But later on in the team fights, they are really all here to support their Olaf, right? It's about the Sona Seraphine combo supporting Olaf while Akali and Renekton somehow try and dive the backline of Space Gamer Kelly X. It's a tall order, but we're curious to see how that will play out.
That's right. There's a bit of a conflict here on the Scuttle Crab right now. Not too sure who got it, but the exhausts are coming out as well. Oh, Hazel dropping really low. It's going to be first blood for the Vayne. Akali trying to go in as deep as possible to take out Namhom on the Diana, but is still alive. That's going to be a double kill for the Vayne as well. Space Gamer and Caliax picking up 3 kills for themselves.
Well, we talked about micro there in the draft, and definitely here, this is where the Space Gamer Kelly X-Codes are really showing it off. And Sona and Seraphine, they don't do much, right? You see Sona, she goes back, she buys a tier. There's no way that Gurren can fight there, and Space Gamer are so good at recognizing that they had the upper hand. They also use the Uko, the CCs, and the burst damage that came in, and props to Elizant there on that fate.
Yeah, props to her as well for buying this Executioner's Calling so early on, just knowing that basically all the Sona and Seraphine can do is just heal and heal and heal, instantly shutting that down,
Did you
giving
say
them
heal?
no chance.
Oh yeah, heal.
Oh yeah, I did. I think I
Ah.
did say heal. I'm not sure, but yeah.
But you see that fight over Scuttle, if you look at the minimap right now, both Scuttles went over to that Wukong. So
Yep, that's right.
Gurren already in this early game struggling, not because
Oh,
of anything, but really they
Vayne
don't have the damage.
Vayne with this red buff right now, just able to chase
Ah.
Dora down. Oh no, so close!
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow. 8 health, very less than that. I think it was like 4 or something. Goodness gracious. Wow,
This
one
is
more tick on
not
the-
going according to the gameplay of Gurren. You do not want to pick Sora and Seraphine against a Vayne and then come back after one team fight and suddenly she has 2 kills as well as an Executioner's Calling. That
Definitely.
is painful.
When the only thing that you have to CC the Vayne is a Seraphine E that is on like a 17-second cooldown, right? You have already you can't really do anything. Honestly, I mean, I find that Gurren's team comp just lacks CC in general. Like, what do they have? They have the Seraphine E, the Seraphine Ultimate, the Sona Ultimate, and the Renekton Stun. That's all.
It
Vayne
is very
dodge.
ultimate reliant.
Yeah, exactly. That's not good when Vayne has a tumble on a 2-second cooldown, where she just press one button and oh, tumble to the side and dodge everything, you know. Ah,
But I don't think Gurren would be challenging this.
oh, just when you say that,
That's
just when
it.
you say that, they go in and they actually
Whoa.
steal it. That's gonna be a Sona Ultimate as well onto multiple people, but instantly Vayne is just able to kill that Akali and just able to kite forward and backward with the support of that Lulu. That's gonna be a double kill for the Vayne, just on a rampage right now. Still chasing forward with that final hour. Goodness.
Oh, they're stuck on the tower. It is 4v3.
Yeah. They don't really have a way
No
to dive
minions.
though on side.
Yeah.
And no health either for that matter. They should
Just
be
as
pretty
I said
satisfied.
that
Yeah.
they should not be challenging that, because even though Gurren got the Ocean Dragon, it's at a cost. And Vayne, you thought 2 kills was enough? No, now she has 4, because they can't fight. They really just can't fight this Vayne at this point in time. So getting Dragon was the expense of getting Vayne fed.
Yeah. Exactly, and I don't know. That was really just awkward, I would say, because they don't have any realistic damage to take the Vayne down. I mean, yeah, you got Akali, but there's a Lulu to use her ultimate and use her shield on the Vayne. And look at that Vayne once again, that is condemned on the Sona. That's really condemned to death. Just goes down off screen. It really doesn't matter. Things looking pretty rough right now. This Vayne having that constant red buff as well as the Blade of the Ruin King.
And other members of her team, Diana already brought off Aegis completed, Singe with the mask as well. So
Yeah.
Gurren, not even one item on each, maybe only the Blade of the Ruin King on the side of Renekton, who hasn't really had an impact. It's just been blading against Singe. And here Space Gamer has the Herald, really wants to keep up their tempo. If you look at the minimap, they do have some wards in the side of the Gurren's jungle, but they will be targeting the mid lane tower as well as bot lane from now on, because they have already opened up the top side.
Yeah, but one thing that Space Gamer don't really have is a lot of pushing power, I would say, because their only ranged champion is Vayne, realistically. And Vayne's range is not very long. So in order to walk up and hit the turret, you need to have a substantial minion wave, but Gurren have a decent amount of wave clear with that Seraphine. So
Yeah, but
it could be a
Gerard,
little hard.
Gurren doesn't even have an AD carry, so
Okay, That's true.
Right?
That's true. That's true.
How do they even
That's
gonna touch the towers, even though they have long
that's true.
range AoE ultimates? It was a risk, and you have to give them some credit for that. I
Mhm.
really am enjoying how the teams are interpreting this patch 2.4. It has
Yeah.
been a very interesting day. You
Yeah.
really love it when teams pull out something out of the hat, like this cinch, which seems to be working for Space Gamer Calyx.
Mhm.
Olaf just gonna try and go in, but they really have to just clear the way before they get dived here.
You see that Wukong also has Executioner's Calling. You know, 2 is better than 1.
It's like they're not gonna
Mm,
risk it. Just have to
yeah.
play for the next dragon, I guess, for Space
Yeah.
Gamer. They don't really have to force anything because they are ahead. And I feel like the cinch pick, the fact that they did it twice in this series, is kind of like signaling to the rest of the teams to say, hey, if we advance, you're gonna have a lot to think about. And you're gonna have
Yeah.
to waste a ban on cinch potentially, which would open up other picks for Space Gamer Kelly X. I think it's really smart.
Yeah, absolutely. And even this Vayne pick right now, Ellison is doing a wonderful job on it, really. 5-0 and 1, you know. Something else that you need to want to worry about if you want to pick like a tank or anything. Because Vayne just can absolutely shred you down and destroy you. Saying we don't even need Lucian to go 0-6. I mean 6-0. Oh, that's gonna be a dragon going down to the Wukong. That's a very nice on ultimate onto 3 people there. Ellison is very low in the middle of everyone and actually goes down there. The Akali is able to find the damage. Akali on the sidelines there. Namhorn getting exhausted, flashing away. Nina though maybe a little too far forward. And here comes Andy back in the game with about 200 health on the Cinch, but it really doesn't matter because you do not chase into that Cinch poison cloud. Space Gamer Calyx, take the dragon, take the team fight as well.
Andy with absolute mastery on this champion. She has been so close, so many close calls, even in the game 1 and here in game 2. She really knows her limits on this champion, and hey, might be her favorite, right?
Yeah, exactly. It takes a master at Cinch to run at the enemy team when you have 200 health. You know,
Yeah, and
because you
flip
know
them
you're
over
just so
knowing that they
confident.
would die. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's some confidence, and it's really what you like to see. You know, from a team, you want to see this kind of confidence, very calculated. And controlled confidence. So it's not just blindly charging in, but you know exactly what you're doing when you are charging in.
Mm.
You know.
And with that, they've already opened up the map from that exchange. Bolian Tower is already down. Space Gamer looking at Baron as the next big objective because it is quite hard for them to push in. The damage is coming out from the side of Zona and Seraphine with that first item completed 1.5 now. They do have some wave clear now for Gren. So it's not that easy for Space Gamer to really bulldoze down these turrets. So they're gonna have to try and find picks or play around the objectives and force Gren to walk in on them.
Yeah, Garen right now kind of on their last heals, I would say. Of course, you can never count them out, but things are looking pretty rough. They don't have an AD carry for themselves. They don't really have a concrete way of really dealing with this Vayne. And look at that, once again, they're just gonna get caught out there. There's gonna be Ragnarok and the flash used defensively from Hazel, and that just means that they have even less power right now to defend this turn.
They do have wave clear though, so Vayne just putting down like 2 auto attacks on it and that's about it. Can't really touch the tower that much more. The Space Gamer, if they whittle this out, I mean, sustain is also on the side of Gren, right? So
Yeah.
they just need to hang in there again. The heals coming out and desperately trying to clear that minion wave, but not going to get it.
Oh no, that's gonna be a massive Diana ultimate right there. That's Sona down, that's Seraphine down already. Space Guard Calyx just wiping the floor with their enemies. Here comes the Olaf with the Righteous Glory, but it's too little too late because the rest of your team is dead. You can't charge in like that. That's 4 more kills for Space Gamer Calyx, and they pick up that turret as well.
They're so coordinated that flank from Diana is really what we wanted to see from other teams that we've seen today, where, you know, if you
Yeah.
can't access the backline, you have to find these angles, and they're just playing so well. I mean, this is a top 3 team, right? In the last Wild Rift
Certainly.
Opens. And here, I feel like they do have potential to break the curse because they look so much better. And not only that, they also showing a lot more adaptation and diversity.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you on that one. The diversity really is something that I really enjoy. It does get kind of dry to see the same champions over and over and over again, but hey, when they start to shake things up with the Singed and with the Vayne and with the Diana, you know, things are actually interesting. It's really a joy to watch. And he's going to be starting up this Baron right now, and I'm not too sure what exactly Gerard can do to respond to this. Because we have a Singed to just continue to zone that out. Olaf is pathing up, but pathing straight into that Singe. Oh, that's a 4-man Seraphine ultimate into a 3-man crescendo. But where did the Olaf go? It's the life's greatest mystery. It just already went down. Double kill for that Singe right there. Just no damage on the side of Gerard, and just no way to deal with this Singed, and no way to deal with the Vayne. That's gonna be Baron going down. Space Gamer Calinex really just running away
Triple
with
kill!
this game.
Triple
Absolutely.
kill on Andy! On that Singed!
Wow.
You know,
This
whatever
right.
Space Gamer did, I could not have foreseen that Singe would be such a key pick for them on patch 2.4, but they're really making it work. And not just Singe in itself, but also Singe together with the rest of the team. You know, Andy's really doing a lot of work zoning them out, not just in this game, but also the last game. So it helps so much for the peel back, for Vayne giving her more space. And even though Gren landed like really big ultimates, they're not tanky enough, firstly, and they also don't have that follow-up damage.
Yeah, this is just this is the most decisive that we've seen any team so far, and you know it really is a signal to everyone else who's gonna come across Space Gamer Calinex in the semifinals, or if they make it through all this, of course, and in potentially the finals as well. You know that they are really not to be trifled with. Right now, 1-19 with 2 dragons, and look at this Andy right now. Olaf shouldn't be consistently running away, you know. Olaf is supposed to go in, not just run from the siege, but at this point there's really nothing so much you can do. There are like 4 cannon minions there, just 5 cannon minions there, just tearing apart the turret. They're gonna be walking forward. No way player can deal with this right now. You don't need a long range AD carry when you have this amount of cannon minions. That's gonna be Diana going in as well. That's gonna be the Hugify to knock 2 members up. Looks like Space Gamer Calinex are starting to close out this game. They're gonna be closing the curtains on their opponents right here. Gren with a 20,000 gold deficit are going to be going down. Space Gamer Calinex are gonna be making it into the semifinals of FSL Wild Rift Open 3.
Congratulations to Space Gamer Calinex. What a interesting game with Singe leading the charge, literally, you know, in game as well as in person. Because Andy, star player, even though the MVP goes over to Namhom on this Diana, who really found a lot of great flanks. But Andy in these team fights doing so much work. You're finding the picks, flipping the jungler over. Nothing that really Greg could have done. Is 24 kills to 1. Wow.
Yeah, that's right. No chances of any Baron steals and coming back, you know. Not this time. Wow.
And look at the damage there.
Yeah.
Namhom and Diana, proving that she really is not out of the league. It is patch 2.4 and she is still strong. So even though, yes, Ziggs may be the ones that people look to, a lot of teams tend to prefer all these mages, maybe Ari, but Diana is still a force to be reckoned with. And she just needs to find the right angles, right? And not to mention she also has Lulu. So even though a lot of health bars were dropped in that last fight, she didn't die because Lulu's ultimate.
Yeah, Lulu's ultimate also synergized with her ultimate because she pulled people in, knocked them up, and Lulu knocked them up one more time. And at that point, really, with the Wukong as well, it just becomes a bouncy castle for Garen, and that means they just really cannot do very much. Of course, it is a very commendable attempt for them to,
for sure,
you know, try with that Sona Seraphine adaptation. Adaptation. But unfortunately for them,
the thing about Sona Seraphine, especially when your Vayne suddenly gets 2 kills in the beginning of the game, that was not planned, and unfortunately from there Space Gamer managed to snowball the game.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Space Game Mechanics are gonna move on to the semifinals. Gonna be super excited to see them tomorrow. And speaking of which, that is the last match for today. So, from us, from me, and Tania as well, I of course Gerard EscapeArtist. Tania, you wanna shout out any of your socials or anything?
Well, is there really a need to? Because everything is Tania May.
Okay, everything is Tania May for Tania May.
Everything is Tania May.
Yeah. For me, you can find me EscapeArtist on Facebook. You can find me on TikTok as well, EscapeArtist Casts. I post League and Belletron content as well. And so does Tania on her TikTok, which I believe is actually not Tania, not just Tania May, right? It's Tania May Esports, I think.
Right.
Yes. And from both of us, yeah. From both of us, thank you very much for tuning in. Do tune in tomorrow because we're going to be having the semifinals and the finals as well. Once again, this is the FSL Wild Rift Open 3, sponsored by Yahoo, supported by Intel. I'm Gerard, EscapeArtist. That was Tania May, and we've been your casters. It has been an absolute pleasure. See you guys tomorrow for more exciting games.